Oh, what's going on, Pete? What's going on? What's going on? I'm gonna make this real quick. I promise you I won't be long. All right, so you see the title to my ladies hanging out. I would like to cover last night's fights, but this guy's really he's all over the place. First, he says that uh, I'm not interested in debating. I'll come on. I'm not interested. And then he puts out a last title that, well, let it go. I'm like, no, let it go. I'm not wasting my time, blah, blah, blah. Then he puts up another video saying, well, uh, I will come on. I will accept. I win, whatever you call it. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about winning. I mean, because in this video, he's making a lot of excuses about his lack of knowledge of boxing, particularly that hangout he had a year ago. He's complaining that he wouldn't talk about sugar. He don't want to talk about historical pieces of boxing. I don't know. I don't know. He's all over the place because again, remind him that he said that he has no problem coming on to talk about anything with me and the librarian, or he has no problem doing it at the same time. So now he wants to come out and complain and said that, well, I wasn't going to name Robinson's opponents on live air, blah blah blah. Bro, it's very simple. You just have to name one person that he fought. That's all he has to do. Just name one person that he's fought, and then everything be okay. But he couldn't even do that. So you see now it's kind of convenient that he wants to name, Lamada and Lamada. Who else is there? Castellani. Well, he didn't name those guys, but I'll just say, et cetera, et cetera. But he could even name Jake LaMotta and just go about it. That's it. Because all about my librarian myself asked him is like, name one opponent that Shamir Robinson fought. Name one significant thing that he's done in his career. And he just bounced off a hangout because he couldn't answer on the spot. Same thing I asked him about Ezra Charles. Name one fighter that he beat. Okay? Besides, it was him who said that I know about boxing knowledge. He said, I studied the history. I watched it longer than you because I'm older. That's what he said. So now all of a sudden he doesn't want to have a debate about history. He's the guy that says that he's the guy that said that Gennady Golovkin is greater than Tony ZALE. He didn't initially say that Golovkin would knock out Tony ZALE. Okay, that's one different conversation. You just said, and this is to you because I sent you a message because I sent you a link to this hangout. So I want you to come on right now. Talk to me right now. And I know you're listening. I know you got that message. So don't act like you didn't get it. So, anyways, hold on, guys. Let's see if anybody can hear me. Can anybody hear me pretty well? Oh, what's going on, y'all? Blood, what's going on? Dick Justice, what's going on, man? Ambitious D, what's happening, man? Yeah, the dude just, I don't know. Here's the thing. He said he wants to have a boxing conversation. So I'm putting him to the test, and now he's complaining about me trolling him because all I ask is for a simple boxing conversation. Yes, I might throw little jabs at him yesterday. I may throw jabs at him, so what? He's getting upset about that. Okay, well, when we all have boxing debates, we all jab each other sometimes too before we have a debate, right? So, I mean, low place throws jabs at me, and I get on to debate him, and I throw jabs at him before we get on to debate. It happens all the time, so I don't know why he's freaking out about it. So, Raskala, he says, Dad, I think you should just leave him alone, man. He's just an LDBC stalker. I mean, yeah, I know that, man. I know that because it's going to look like you're stalking him when we all know that that's not the case. You're right about that, man. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. He went after Raskala. I mean, nah, he went after QuestX, right? Okay, QuestX. He poked. He talked to QuestX and said, "Look, you're running from me. You ran from a debate from me. You ducked me from a debate. Blah 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 blah." So now he's in debate mode, right? And prior to that, maybe about 2 videos prior to that, he mentioned he went after Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown was on my hangout a few nights ago. He went after Charlie Brown, and he mentioned that video that when Dan and I had a discussion about Holyfield Pacquiao, I only had my opinion.
I said Pacquiao's creator, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, well, since you're in debate mode, since you went after Quest X, you're willing to debate him, why don't you debate me on this topic that we haven't had for a long time? We only had, you know, let's see, we only had wait, at one point, what you call it, a comment section exchange. So let's just have a live debate about it. And I don't want to, you know, all of a sudden he's changing this too. All of a sudden, I'm saying, look, I just want to have an honest boxing discussion. That's all. And that's what you're here for. Your complaint is that no way, you know, some of the guys at the LDBC don't talk about boxing all the time. They always, you know, talk about social issues that has nothing to do with boxing. So that irritates you. So I'm giving you the opportunity to do it. But now he's changing this too and saying, well, I don't want to talk about the history aspect of it. Really? Really? Well, if you claim that Manny Pacquiao's greater than Evander Holyfield, then why not? You're talking about history there because if you believe that, then we have to assess their careers. That's a historical component of a debate. He doesn't want to have it. See, he goes to Evander Holyfield's career. He crapped on his run at cruiserweight. He crapped at his run at heavyweight. He said Evander Holyfield did not fight an elite heavyweight. That's what he said. And then I said, well, okay, well, it's fair to say that Manny Pacquiao, well, you know, I could go further than this. Pacquiao didn't fight an elite fighter at flyweight. He didn't fight an elite fighter at super bantamweight. He did not fight an elite fighter at lightweight. So if you want to talk about bums, Pacquiao fought a lot of bums in those three weight classes. Okay. But anyways, that's just the gist of it. So he knows because I could go further that I've studied Pacquiao's career very well. Very well. Okay. So he's going to say, well, you're going to shit on him. That's why I don't want you to debate him. I was like, really? Well, you shit on Evander Holyfield. So why don't you come on here and debate? Let's talk about it. Let's see here. Dick Justice. What's up, Dick, man? Uh, Dick says that Sean Newton's a psychotic. He needs to get roles on in psychological thrillers. Hey, you know what, man? Let me see here. Oh, that's Mike Sewell. What's up with the brother Mike Sewell? Well, anyways, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Well, I don't know, man. He's all over the place. He is big psychotic. I agree, man. I agree. So like I said, I only wanted to do. I was going to do a live hangout this today with the dude. He's called. You know, he's saying that he won, but I'm like, okay, I'm right here. Let's talk about it right here. I'm waiting. You know what I mean? So let's see here. Ross Clark. It's easier not to listen to him. His murders rose the dumbest shit I ever. Dude, you know what's funny, Ross Clark? D Style was going after him on that. I mean, he murdered him on it, and now he's complaining that, oh, come on, D Style, you acting childish. You talking about something that was over a year ago, a video that I did over a year ago. Well, the reason why D Style went after it because if you look at that video he did a year ago and look at what has transpired afterwards, all his Murders Row members list has been wiped out. These guys are like very underachieved, with the exception of obviously, I mean, Kovalev is not underachieved. It's neither is Golovkin or Lomachenko, but the fact is that Kovalev has got wiped off. I think he had Uchiyama on his on that Murders Row list. Well, we see what happened to him. So other than that, the only two that's left standing is Lomachenko and Golovkin. Golovkin didn't look good in his last fight either. And Lomachenko, you know, obviously he let Mariagi take free shots at him, but it is what it is on that. But let's see what we got here. And yeah, he got mad at D Styles for poking fun at his Murders Rose list. And Quest, what's up, Quest? Quest is in here. He said, look, he's bluffing Quest X. That's Ross Clyde. What up, Dan? What's good, bro? I'm good, Black Latin man, Caesar man. I'm good. This dude is really thinking he could win over a video response, and I want him to come on live. I want him to defend his arguments. I want him to come out and say why he thinks Golovkin is greater than ZALE. Not say that Golovkin will knock out ZALE. That's not the part of the discussion. We're talking about who's greater between the two because he said that on one of his videos. He said that, and he's trying to run away from it. Now he's saying he doesn't want to debate it. I'm like, no, let's put it up for debate. You said that Golovkin is greater than Tony ZALE. I want you to come out and defend that. You know? Let's not talk about skill. Everybody has a different skill set. We're talking about greatness and what they were able to achieve in the level of opposition they fought. Okay, and let's compare and contrast the two. Since you like to do that with Golovkin, Hagler, and Golovkin with Hopkins, and Golovkin with what else? Monzone, whatever. So come on, Rascalot. Pac is better than Holyfield. Rascalot's laughing. What the fuck is this Pacquiao better than Ali? Rascalot, one of the guys who's no longer on the platform said that Pacquiao's better than Ali, and he's no longer making videos. And that guy, I even challenged him on that one point, and this guy didn't even break down their careers to a full extent when he made that video. And you know what I'm talking about, brother. The guy lived in Ecuador. He's the one that said that Pacquiao was greater than Ali. And there were some other guys who said it too, and they're no longer on here, and I wonder why. Quest says, what did I miss? Well, this guy not going back and forth. I've asked him to come on to debate. He's running around saying, I win. I told you I would come on debate, blah, blah, blah. But if you're going to keep being disrespectful, I'm like, oh, whatever, man. I'm not even hardly as disrespectful to you like I was back then than you are now, that I am now. So let's get it over with. Come on. I'm right here. And I sent him a private message. I sent him the link to this thing. I want him to come on. So let's see. Newton passed his prime already. Let's see. Quest says, look, don't debate him, Dan. This is what he wants. He's sitting up there trying to create wedges between channels. He's sneaky. Be careful who you associate with because he's crafty and yeah, and that's why I called him out on that. So he's trying to be very manipulative and all that. This is what he wants to do. Basically he's trying to create, some type of wedge. You got a point there, man. But all I want is for him. I just putting him to the test. I was like, well, if you want to have a boxing discussion, let's do it right now because that's all you wanted. This is what you've been complaining about for the last year or so, 2 years, 7 years, as you claim. Then nobody wants to talk about boxing. Nobody wants to keep it strictly boxing. Well, this is what I want. Let's do it. And he's still complaining that he's still complaining about that. So you see how hypocritical this guy is. So I don't understand. DCB, what's going on, man? DCB, Sean rather do video responses because it gives him time to fuck. Man, hey man, I know. I'm not sure about the bestiality stuff, man. I hope that's not true. Dick Justice says that Sean is nervous because Asian girls rejected his sorry ass. Man, look, y'all. Look, whatever he does in his private life, that's his business. But at the same time, man, I want him to come on here and talk to me live. That's all. Red Fox, I thought he said ZALE had a better resume, but skill-wise, Golovkin KO ZALE. No. That's not what he said. He said that ZALE was greater than Golovkin. And then when I called him out on it in one of my video responses, a couple video responses, he turns around and says that ZALE had a better resume. This is what he said. All right. So I wanted to challenge him on that point. And then he goes around saying, I'm not interested. I said that Golovkin would KO ZALE. Okay, that's a different argument. Okay. But the fact is that he went after his resume now. That ZALE was losing to this and that and third. I was like, okay, let's come on and talk about it then. Let's talk about it. But he doesn't want to do it. So let's see. Let's see if he does. Blood says, man, I'll moderate. Send me a link if he shows up and y'all need a moderator. All right, man. You know what? I'll do that, man. So that way we have some stability here. If he gets out of line, man, I'll take you up for that, Blood. Let's see. I like Pac, but he avoided some fights. You know what, Rascalot? That's exactly what I said to him. But that was just the gist of it. What I was going to expose on that situation because he likes to bring up, oh, Pac is 8th division champion. That's great, but we could go further than that. And I got more details than I did in my video response about Pacquiao's title run. I got a lot more than that. He doesn't want to get out. That's why he doesn't want to debate. So I mean, hopefully, because I sent him links, I want him to come on. Let's see. Saddam says that hey, what's up, Saddam, man? He said, look, he has no true knowledge of boxing, so he'll never debate you. Well, we'll see, man. I'm seeing because I'm right here, man. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here for a little bit. We'll see because he's, if I end this hangout at sooner than it is, he's gonna say, you see, you didn't want it because I was gonna come on. I was gonna come on, and I mean, I'll be on here for a while. I'll wait. I'll wait for him. So, in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and talk about some other stuff too. Let's see. But Blood says that Sean, I know you're watching. Come on, Newton. Yeah, he's watching because right now Taiwan. Let's see what time it is in Taiwan. Let's see. Let's see. Taiwan. Let's go by country instead. All right. So in Taiwan, Taipei. So it's 2:15 a.m. All right. So it's Monday over there. Usually he's up still, you know. But other than that, yeah, it doesn't matter. He's watching. Yeah, that's true, blood. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Because he usually is up very late. Let's see. Pacquiao always cherry picked the weakest champions division. Great Drake. Well, you know what? He at some point he did. At lightweight, he did that, and that was against David Diaz. Of course, we saw what happened in that fight. He was not the great lightweight fighter, David Diaz. You know, he didn't fight the best at super bantamweight. I mean, flyweight, obviously. When he went up to welterweight, we know the story behind that. So these are the points I can hit him with. You know, he knows that, so that's why he doesn't want to take up on the Holyfield Pacquiao offer. He doesn't want to do it. So, you know, like I said, this is the gist of it. I'll save the rest if he really decides he wants to come on. So let's see. Let me see. Let me see. D Style. What's up, D Style? Let me see. Rascalot said, look. DCB said, I'll moderate, no dogs allowed. Red Flock says, Lamar took too much shots. I know. Hey, Blood says, hey, son, you a bitch. I know you're reading this while your dog is doing what he does. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. We don't have to we don't have to do all that, y'all. I understand. Come on, y'all. I just want the guy to come on here. All right. I want him to come on. That's all I want. I want a boxing discussion. Let's see. D Style says, Pac-Man didn't fight at 154 limit, thus he never became a 154-pound champion. Well, technically, he didn't fight at 154. That's true. He fought Antonio Margarito at a catch weight 150 pounds for the vacant WBC light middleweight title. He won the title, yes, but the thing is that he never defended it. So once he won it, he just collected it and threw it away. And same thing would happen to the 140-pound title. Same thing that happened to the 135-pound title. So he never defended those 3 titles, you know. But yeah, like I said, I could get him on those points, man. I can get him on those points. I really can. So let's see. Black Latin Caesar says, I swear back in the day, Sean used to leave racist comments on my old videos, bro. I confronted him a while back and he claimed he wasn't racist. Well, that's another thing. He claims he's not racist, but he allows these derogatory comments against African Americans. He does it all the time. So he race baits with his thumbnails. He, keeps putting in titles like Black Lives Matter, Black Princes of Boxing, White Kings of Boxing, blah, blah, blah. Just a race bait. You know what I mean? I don't, and he, obviously he has a problem with African Americans, but he has an obsession with them, stalking them. I don't know why. It's a psychological issue. I don't know. He needs to, he really needs to seek help for that. All right, but I'm not gonna. I just want him to get on. That's all I want, man. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Ross Clyde Blood. Let's see. BD style. You should title the video "Black Fighters Get No Respects." He wouldn't miss it. You know what, D style? That's a good point. I could do that. The race bait him to draw an end when I say Black Fighters Get No Respect because he easily have no problem commenting on that. But that's not what we're going to talk about. But other than that, yeah, that would probably draw him on. But usually when you see the title YTBC Cop, he easily gets drawn on that. So yeah, once he sees that title that I put in, he's gonna come on. It'll draw him in. Let's see. The whole reason I called him out is because he sent his Hitchman Hawker to threaten me, threaten my newborn lies. Oh, Hawker Mustang is still around? Really? That dude? Blood, yeah, dude, the Hawker, the same person. You know what's funny about that? Fight Critic put out a video about that about a year, more than a year ago, almost 2 years ago, and he pointed out he laid out the details on that situation, and it gets you thinking, wondering they could be the same guy because this Hawker Mustang character only comments on that video. Well, obviously because he's blocked by everyone else, but the only time he ever comes on is that he comments on that particular video. And if it's something that's very race related, he would he'll come on. He'll just what you call it. He'll just comment on that. So I don't know. It just the timing of it. The timing of it. I have to look at Fight Critics video again because it does get you thinking. If they could possibly be the same people. It could be Sean's troll account of Hawker Mustang, which he denied many times. But I don't know. We'll see. Only the truth will come into light. Let me see. No way a prospect like Lubin was just going to be Charlo Red Fox. You know what? Good point, man. Maybe we get on to a little boxing discussion while he, since I'll wait for him. I said this too, man. I told everybody about this, man. And look, I told everybody about this, but one thing I was wrong about is that I thought Lubin would at least put up a fight, but it did get to that point. And I said, dude, I'm not sure if this guy's ready for this fight. And it just caught with one good uppercut, and he was hurt badly. I heard he got a cramp too. That's what prevented him from getting up. But he was hurt. He was really hurt from the uppercut. And whoa, and that only lasted the first round. And I thought that was a light punching version of the Charlo brothers. But Jamel can punch, man. He can punch. So yeah, don't let the knockouts fool you. He may only got half of his 50% of his knockouts, but the dude can punch. So yeah, oh man, the Charlos, boy, those are a dangerous tandem right there, dude. The Charlo brothers, dangerous tandem, a dangerous duel when it comes to fighting. Let me see. Rasclot says here, Pac's downfall is that he never defended those 3 titles. Yep, exactly. He never defended those 3 titles that he won at 140, 135, and 154, which was a catchweight fight. He never defended them. I think it was another one too. Was it super featherweight? Yeah, super featherweight. He never defended that title either. So the 4 titles he never defended. Dick Justice says I would beat the shit out of Hawker. Yeah, man. I mean, Hawker's Hawker, man. The dudes is. I mean, like I said, I didn't realize he was still around, but hey. Let's see. Ross Class said, I don't know why you guys thought Lubin was a threat. And Ross Clap, brother, you and I agree, man. I didn't think Lubin was a threat either. I just thought he may put up a little bit of a better effort. But hey, it's boxing. You're gonna get caught with one good shot, man. Yeah, you gonna get caught with one good shot. But bam, and that's what happens, man. And obviously, I hope that Lubin can come back. I'm sure he will. He can rebound from that. But as long as the Charlos are there, man, I don't think he's gonna want that fight ever again unless Charlo gets ages and decides to stay at 154 or he moves up. Because I think sooner or later Charlo's gonna move up to 160, just like his brother did. Sooner or later, that may happen, and that would give Lubin some sense of confidence to go and capture the other titles. Because I don't see him now stand up against Jarrett Hurd. And another thing about Jarrett Hurd too, I gotta get to that one real quickly. Jarrett Hurd did impress me when he adjusted a little bit by showing some head movement and start giving some angles, start straightening up his punches against Austin Trout because he was making his punches too wide. And he was lunging in, and he was looking very lethargic. But the one thing I would say about Jarrett Hurd is that he needs to find a way to work on defense. Yeah, he started to show that he can move, be elusive. He can parry off the punches. He can, he started to show some head movement, but him taking punches like that, dude, I advise him that he's going to have to find a way to work on his defense because he can't be taking punches like that forever because you got guys at 154 that can crack harder than Austin Trout. That you got, in my opinion, I think Arizona Lara could crack harder than Austin Trout. He can. And, of course, Jamel Charlo said, I want Jarrett Hurd. That's a fight that needs to happen next. I can't wait for that. Jarrett Hurd wants that fight too. So let's make it happen. And I think that Jarrett Hurd just needs to find a way to cut off the ring a bit better because he was just falling. He just like in the Tony Harrison fight, he was following Harrison around too. He was just stalking him. But he's got to learn how to cut off the ring a bit better and not allow Austin, not allow guys like Austin Trout get off the shots the way he did. The one thing about Jarrett Hurd is like, dude, if he continue to take punches like that, it's great that he got a good chin. But if he keeps continue to get punches like that, and he needs somebody that's going to crack a lot harder, he will. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be bad. It's going to be detrimental for him. So he's got to have to figure this out. Let me see. I'm going to the comment section, y'all. Let's see. Y'all, man. Y'all cool. Ross Clot, D-Style says that the title of the video, Black Agenda, he'll see it quickly. Hey, you know what? That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Yeah, anything he says black, man, he'll comment on it right away. Ross Class says Max Bear was another bitch. Where's his channel now? You know what? I don't know what happened to Max Bear. I don't know. You know what's funny about that, man? He was a cool guy to begin with. We used to have good conversations. We had no beefs. The next thing you know, it's like when you disagree with him, what else? If you had one sense of disagreeing with the guy, he would just snap at you. He called you retard. He wished death upon you. Red Fox could attest to that too. Yeah, Red Fox is commenting on that as well. And this dude was calling me idiot. He was hoping that I died a slow death because I point out the fact that Golovkin himself is not the fear fighter that you want him to make him out to be. He has some defense, you know, he has some deficiency as well. I pointed that out. And I also pointed out it was Golovkin's team who turned out any chance of making a Lar fight happen. They're the ones who said it themselves. And he got mad when I mentioned that. And I said, look, your guy is not what he is. I mean, why? One time when I asked him, was like, and I asked him a couple of times, and as I asked him, was like, okay, if you're gonna blame Andre Ward for draining Chad Dawson, which that never happened, then explain to me. Well, actually, no. Well, that was one of the questions, and I asked him, well, you know, how can you give Manny Pacquiao full credit for a lot of catchweight fights and championship catchweight fights? And then I also asked him that, well, why is it that Golovkin's team offer Ward a catchweight fight, but not Froch and Chavez Jr.? Because that makes no sense. Because those guys weren't offered the catchweight, but he gave it to Ward. Why did he make it a stipulation that that fight had to happen in the catchweight, but not the other two guys? He just snapped at me because he knew he could answer the question, and it was going to contradict what he's been saying about Andre Ward and such more than Golovkin. So he snapped. He made his own channel, tried to diss people, said, you know, particularly with the Povetkin situation, he put a lot of stock into that situation, and then it blew up in his face. It really blew up in his face, and then, you know, started to go on this conspiracy his conspiracy theories. You know, he claimed that Andre Ward was cycling off PEDs because he announced his fight 30 minutes, I'm sorry, 30 days before the actual date. So at one time he tried to get at me. He made a video about me about being wrong about the Povetkin situation, which I was being strictly boxing news at one time, where we were right about the, you know, pretty much the whole time, you know, because all this information didn't make any sense. But he's like, well, you guys are stupid because you guys didn't do your research on this, blah, blah, blah. You know, he claimed to me he was a scientist when it came to this whole drugs controversy with Povetkin. Then I said, well, obviously there's a lot of unanswered questions. No matter the amount of research you've done extensively, there's still unanswered questions. And it turned out that me and Strictly Boxing News were correct. You know, we're not trying to gloat over it, but there was just still unanswered questions. The case was not solved. The WBC did not clear him at that time. And well, before that, you know, he claims that, you know, he tried to use that Povetkin situation against me, making a mockery video, and I made a mockery video back at him, saying, well, it's funny you talk about drugs, you talk about you're right about a lot of stuff. Well, you were wrong about Andre Ward being on PEDs, right? And you brought up that situation with Edwin Rodriguez about VADA. Well, you should also understand that Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev have registered for VADA, and they have agreed to random style drug testing. And you made a video claiming that Andre Ward was going to back out of the fight. It never happened, and you've been very quiet about that. So where's your retraction video? Why aren't you going to give Andre Ward credit? And he got pissed off when I made that mocker video about him. And he turns around and said that I didn't say that that fight was never going to happen. Well, yeah, he did. He backed away from it. But since his theories and everything turned out not to be true, you know, he's been very upset. You know, he wished that Ward was going to get killed by Kovalev. He really said that. He really wished that he was going to Ward would die in that ring. It didn't happen. So obviously, yeah, I think because of what's happened around the sport of boxing, he hasn't liked the way it's transpired. So that's why he doesn't make any more videos. So I mean, it's up to, you know, it's his power. He can do what he wants, but you know, it is what it is, man. You know, and it's what happens when things don't go your way. When your fighters that you propagate so much don't turn out to be underachievers. You know, it doesn't give, you know, some people just don't have that sense of rationale to continue to talk about the sport that they claim they love. Hey, there's one thing he and I did agree on. We both liked Evander Holyfield. We both agreed on that. So obviously, I don't know. Anyways, let's see here. Come on, Sean, on board. Dick Justice. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the guy, man. I'm still waiting, man. Let me see if he actually popped on here. No, he hasn't. I'm still waiting on him. And trust me, he stays up late at night trolling people's videos. He does. So Let's see. Red Fox. Yeah, Max turned on me for saying Ward would beat Kovalev in the rematch. He said I should die of AIDS. Yeah, you and I talked about that, brother. I mean, you see where I'm going with this? The dude just had a bad temper. I remember one time he tried to lash out at what's the guy's name? Phantom. I mean, I'm not sure you guys remember the Phantom. He was kind of crazy back then because the Phantom defended Hatman, and Max Baer did not like Hatman so much. He called him I think he called him a xenophobe or something like that. And what's his name? Phantom wasn't having that. He said, "Look, I know Hatman, and I'm not gonna lie. You disrespect him like that." So obviously him and Max Baer got into it, and Max Baer ended up blocking him. And then Phantom got pissed off and said, "You know what?" He called him a little bitch. I said, "You want to talk all that shit as if you're smart. Why don't you meet me up at the gym? You meet me up. I'll meet you face to face. I'll fly to your town." And then Max Baer kind of like bunked out. So that's what happened. So yeah, so I remember that situation with him and the Phantom. And Phantom was crazy himself, but when it came to Hatman, he defended Hatman a lot. So it is what it is. And Phantom was a big Andre Ward fan. He was a big Andre Ward fan. I don't know what happened to him, but it is what it is. Rascal says that dude hit us with the welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, come on, man. I'm waiting for the guy, dude. I'm waiting for him. Blood says Sean has a lady boy wife. I mean, I don't know, man. Plus, he pissed on Australia over NBT. Oh, Red Fox, he did that for real? Max Beer did that? Damn, man. Seriously? Okay. D Style said Max is Marble Ball by D Style. Hey, yeah, you gave him that name. Great Drake said, who remembers Tito Garcia grilling Sean Newton back in the day? RIP. Oh, man. Dude. Oh, man. Yeah. It's funny, though, because Sean used to get intimidated by him. Newton, he used to get intimidated by Tito Garcia. I mean, Tito used to flame him up badly. Him and Precise Presenter badly. I mean, Tito would really go after this dude, man. I don't know. And I don't know, man. Those was classic back in the day. Let's see. D Style said that he sounds like he has marbles in his mouth. Yeah, he did. He did. Max Bear. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. What else? Yeah, Rasclot. Yeah, I mean, look. Yeah, he was a fanboy of the European boxing style, but again, those guys are all getting wiped out now. So there's I guess to him, there's no interest to continue on to the sport. It's just those his favorite fighters are getting wiped off the map. So it is what it is. Dick Justice said, "Look, I'm white, but I hate racists. I just want to talk about boxing and topics that don't interest me." Yeah, you know what, man? I'm with you on that, Dick Justice. I don't want to talk about tribalism when it comes to boxing. I don't either. But tribalism, it has always existed for many decades before you and I or anybody else on this chat were born. I mean, back then, boxing was severely tribalist. It was severely socially tribal back then, man. I mean, there was times when guys like particularly black fighters, who had to fight in one of the worst discriminatory conditions where they could get, they had to take fights on a 24-hour notice. Is like one time, I think there was a story, Boxing Librarian had pointed this out. One time at Barbados, the Demon Joe Wilcott had showed up for a fight, and his opponent wasn't there to fight. So he was assuming, okay, the fight was canceled, and obviously he wasn't going to get paid. So instead, they told him that we got a replacement for you. You got to take the replacement fight right now. It was against a heavyweight, and Barbados Joe Wilcock beat the crap out of that heavyweight. And he took that fight. He had to take that fight like literally on a 24-hour notice, or the 5-minute notice, whatever you want to call it. That's literally what he had to go through. Same thing with Charlie Burley. He had to go through a situation that he had to take a fight on maybe a 4-day notice, and he fought a heavyweight. And he beat that guy, beat the crap out of him. All right, so yeah, back then those fighters really had to fight in severe conditions. There was time they had to enter slave contracts, which you want to quote unquote, is that if you want to get paid, you have to knock the other guy out. It doesn't matter if you beat the crap out of him, but if he lasts 15 rounds or 20 rounds, he wins the fight. You don't win the fight, you don't win the title, which means you don't get paid. That's how the severity those guys had to go through back then. And obviously those black fighters were being very marginalized back then. Most of them didn't have the opportunity to fight for world titles. There were some exceptions. Jack Johnson was an exception. You had who else? After Jack Johnson, you had the Harry Wills had an opportunity to fight for a world title, but of course, that was against Jack Dempsey. Of course, that fight never happened because, let me see, Jack Dempsey was paid in advance, and he was paid 50 grand for the fight, and the check bounced, so that's why the fight got called off and never got rescheduled after that. So, yeah, so there's some exceptions there, you know. Harry Wills could have fought for the world title, and I think he would have beat Jack Dempsey. But of course, obviously, yeah, that fight never came off because the check bounced, and we could never get that time. Well, but history could never see that fight get made. So it is what it is. Black Latin Caesar talking about Lennox Lewis and his manager were having a gay relationship. You know what? Oh man, I got a story to tell you guys. There's a guy that I ran into, right? This cat, he was a trainer at he worked at Justice Forge's boxing gym over in West Hollywood in LA. And I'm not sure if you guys remember Justin Fortune. Justin Fortune fought Lennox Lewis, you know, when Lennox Lewis was coming up as heavyweight prospect. Justin Fortune is from Australia. He trains a lot of Australian fighters. But anyways, Justin, you know, has a gym over here in West LA. And one of the trainers that I ran into told me the story about Lennox Lewis. And he said, and he's from England, he's from the UK, and I'm not going to name who the guy is, but he told me a story that Lennox Lewis and his manager actually were making out before a fight. And he told me that this actually happened, but like I said, I'm not going to name the guy, but that's just a rumor. I don't want to read into it, but he said that actually did happen. And I'm like, well, don't sue me on this. This is what he told me, but I just want to leave it alone. Okay, it's like, well, you know, if that's true, that's his business, but that's just a rumor that I heard. Let me see. I'm going. Yeah, you guys are coming in with a lot of comments, man. I'm trying to catch up with you guys. Yeah, I know D Style going in that Max Beer. Ross Clock too, man. Y'all wrong, man. Red Fox says, "Look, I wanted Kovalev to beat Ward, but picked Ward. Immediately, got it. You know, the guy got on me talking about I should die of AIDS, blah blah blah. I told him to stop, and he didn't. That's why I blocked him. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, Jake Justice, he was he was good at the beginning, yeah, and then also he became a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about it. He completely just flipped, man. The guy was rational. You know, we could talk about on it. We had an honest conversation. I mean, it's just also when we had this one little disagreement, he started to snap. I just didn't get it, you know. And Blood could attest to this as well. So let me see. Red Fox said that the Phantom called him American Coon. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that video. That was a flamed up video. Whoa, that was really flamed up on him. Bless. I was hoping to see John get body. Dude, I'm still here, man. I'm still waiting for the dude. I'm still waiting. You know, I'm still waiting for the guy. I'm not gonna just let me see how long I've been on here. I've been on here for let's see. Well, it's live, so I can't really. Let me see if I can get the time. The time limit. Can I see the time limit here? No, I can't see it. All right, I'll figure it out. But anyways, I know I've been on here for more than an hour already, so you know, yeah, RP to TO too, man. RP, man. God rest his soul. D Style said PP hated the day PP because I know he hated it. Because he messaged me and said it was childish for childish to do calling him PP. Yeah, I mean, look, the guy ran around. He called Adonis Stevenson a monkey. He made a video about that. Obviously we don't see that anymore. That was one thing, and he said that black people are inferior when it comes to intellect. And I remember Boxing Beats Rhymes challenged him on it, called him out for debate. He never responded to Boxing Beats Rhymes. I called him out for debate. He and I initially accepted the debate terms, and then what happened was before I could get a moderator, we had one last comment exchange about Povetkin situation, the Meldonian confirmation about Povetkin. And I gave him my rationale thoughts on the situation. I was schooling him. He didn't like it, so he blocked me. And he didn't want to debate me after that. So yeah, obviously, yeah, the guy deserved what he got. I mean, he deserved to be ridiculed for the things he put out, you know. And the last thing he did, which was ridiculous, is that he called Anthony Joshua a dirty fighter against Vladimir Klitschko. Put out a slow video about that, which was ridiculous. A lot of people came after him for that. Even some of his supporters didn't like when he did that, and And he also said that Andre Ward was using PEDs, and I made a video response about that, saying, "Well, you need to do further research before you accuse anyone for being on PEDs." And then he got mad when I did that. So, ooh, did somebody just no, no. All right, I thought that was him. All right, no, that wasn't him. That was somebody else. That was just a Facebook chat. But anyways, anyways, y'all. Let's see. Ross Clot, Red Fox says, I see him to Ross Clot. Well, I thought you were talking about Sean Newton. I don't see Sean Newton on here, so still waiting for him. All right. Let's see. Rascalot said PP defended Kovalev on his racism that made him look different after that. Yeah, he did. I mean, a lot of guys did. Even Max Baer defended Kovalev on it too. And Kovalev is he's known to not like people with African descent. He looks at them as a being inferior. So when Andre Ward beat him twice, I think that really hurted Kovalev from a psychological standpoint because he's so used to beating up African descent people throughout his career. And then when he met that one person who's from African descent, who's able to outsmart him and beat him up more than anybody else ever did, then that really got to him psychologically. And this is why he was talking about moving up to cruiserweight, because he didn't really, want to go through the situation facing Ward again if Ward decided to stay there at light heavyweight for longevity. All of a sudden, he started to get his sense of confidence back. And see, speaking of that, Kovalev and Dumas now put in a petition by the WBO to sanction that fight for the WBO vacant title against Sabransky. So we'll see where that goes. I wanted to talk about that too. Let's see. D-Style says PP was scared of blood. Oh man, I remember that. It's funny because some guys are saying that we're talking shit about PP, but we're scared of him. Now you guys talk shit about, but you guys were scared of him. No, well, actually, we weren't. He just didn't want nothing to do with us on live debates. Okay, the dude challenged us to come on, one of us to come on. Blood accepted the challenge, and then Blood, he started disrespecting Blood, and Blood was calling him out. It's like, look, you little bitch, if you're gonna stay there and disrespect me, then do it live on a hangout. I'm waiting for you to give me a live link so I could come on. And and PP didn't want to do it. He backed away. Yeah, where's my feed, boy? Mr. Talk, what's going on, man? That was a funny video. Blood flamed him up, and BP just ran, dude. He ran from cover from that, man. And this dude then all of a sudden made a response video like, "Oh, relax, man. We're only talking about boxing. I'm not gonna let you come on if you're gonna keep coming at you. If you're gonna be mad at me like that." Then he started to cower out. It's like, what? Okay, dude, you've been running around talking about people who don't want to debate you. I wanted to debate you, but you didn't want to take up on my offer. You blocked me, so before we could go to the actual debate, and all that. And then when Blood decides to come on and say, "I want to come on your channel," and then you go back away still. So I don't get it. So let's see. Roscoe, I tried to keep it boxing with PP, but he made too many racist videos. Yeah, he did, man. And obviously, the reason why he did it because he did it for profit, and he admitted that's what he came onto the platform to do. He did it for profit. So I guess it was one of the reasons why he left, because it was a financial burden. When YouTube changed its policies on on AdSense money, which is the right thing to do. And obviously, so many guys have stopped making videos because they rely too much on that AdSense money. Hey, that's what they like to do. So be it. So that's why some of them set up Patreon accounts. But Patreon can only go so far. I mean, other than that, yeah, AdSense was their best revenue streams. But since that went away, obviously, I think it took a financial burden on him. So that's probably one of the reasons why he shut his channel down. I mean, will he be back? I think he'll be back. Let's just see he comes out to be a rational person than he was before. I'm sorry. So, anyways, let's see. Dick Justice says the Thunder was okay in the beginning, but Precise was always dumb as fuck. He acted like he was Eastern European, but he's not. No, he was actually he was Polish, but he was Americanized Polish. So yeah, he was Polish descent. So let's see. Yeah, Thunder was cool in the beginning too, but then again, he just got caught up. He got sucked in, dude. And I was like, man, you just gotta be you, man. You gotta have you be rational. People, not everybody's gonna agree with you. Some people are gonna disagree with you. Like me, I keep it in the middle. You know. But he also he drifted off to 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 something else. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Doc. Yeah, PP Duck Blood. Yeah, we all know that. Yeah, PPB called Michael Brown a thug and he deserved getting that shit. Yeah, he did that too. Some other guy did the same thing too. He not making videos anymore. He's from the UK. Let me see. Ross Clark will be Blackland. Caesar's like, nigga, please. Laura's a top tier fighter. He's been on top for so long for a long reason of time. He'll destroy her. So why are you so hard on Lara, bro? You know what? Here's the thing. I want to talk about that real quickly too, man. About that fight between Lara and Agasha. Paulie Malignaggi brought up a good point. And this is what he said. He said that Erislandy Lara has a style where he's very defensive. He's a defensive tactician, just like Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? With guys like that, is that if you bring the fight to them, they will fight. And that makes them far more dangerous because they're very quick with counters. They're very good at placing their shots and good at positioning their shots, and it makes them extremely dangerous. And they can punch hard, and they're very, very dangerous when you force them to fight. We see that happen to Guillermo Rigondeaux one time when he's facing adversity. When you force the dude to fight, he will fight you back. But when he's dictating the pace, yeah, their style is not too crowd pleasing because Lara likes to dictate the pace and say they're Rigondeaux. They're comfortable to their style. The thing about Lara is that when he knocked out Gotcha in the fourth round, that brought the count up. They're awake, and then next, Lara just went back to his defensive mode. He was pressing. He was coming forward. He wasn't trying to go for the kill. Is that that's one thing about him that I was like, you know what, man? He's a very good fighter, yes, but I like him a lot. But this is one thing I gotta say about Arizona Lara. When you got a guy who's hurt, who can't do nothing to you because Kasha couldn't do nothing to the guy. You got to go for the kill. You got to go knock the guy out. You just can't wait for him to make the fight out of it. You got to make the fight. That's one thing I got to say about Erislandy Lara. That's the one thing criticism I got to say is like, dude, you got to make the fight out of it. You got to go for the kill. Let's see what we got here. Man. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. The guys that let me see if I bring some guys on, man, because I'm waiting for this dude. Well, I'll give it another 20 minutes to see if he wants to come on, man. Let's see. Let's see. What else? Let's see. Ross Clark. Instead, Steve 92. Shout out to Steve 92. Said, "Did you see Thundercoat's weak ass Andre Ward video?" Yeah, I don't know what is about Andre Ward that these guys don't like. I mean, does Andre Ward warrant some criticism? Absolutely, but to me, it's like the criticism towards Ward is really was out of line. I don't get it. Andre Ward is not a controversial guy. He does all the right things outside the ring. Yes, you could question, his boxing style is up for debate. Yes, but the fact is that he didn't deserve all the hate that he got. It really didn't. It's like these guys couldn't give him credit for anything. They called him a coward. These people still call him a coward after he retired. I don't understand why. I mean, you guys challenged him to fight Kovalev. He did that. You said, when he signed on to a 3-fight deal to fight Sergey Kovalev, they did give him credit for that, including Thunderdome, when he had, when this whole ticket controversy came about, when he not showed up for the first press conference after his first fight with what's the guy name? Alexander Brand. After he got through his fight with Alexander Brand, he he didn't show up for the first day of the press conference with Kovalev for the first fight. Kathy Duva was trying to pull the Don Key trick, trying to claim that Ward was ducking. I'm not sure the fight's going to go through. And then she later admitted that Ward actually gave her a heads up that he wasn't going to show up after, for the press conference because he wanted to take some time off a little bit to heal up and, spend time with his family. And the fact that they were going at Ward for that, not showing up, you see he's a coward. He's ducky. He's not going to make the fight, right? And then when they got caught, by jumping the gun, they tried to twist it and say, well, that's not the issue. We did jump the gun, blah, blah, blah. And the fight got confirmed. It was sealed. The arena was booked. The arena was agreed upon. The seating arrangements were made. The tickets went on sale. They still didn't give Ward no credit for that. They didn't give him no credit whatsoever. They sat their asses silent. They sat on the sidelines and didn't say nothing when he actually went through and finalized the fight with Kovalev. And then after the first fight, they called him a cow. Say you stalled the rematch. You're not taking the rematch. You coward. You pussy out. So when he finally made the rematch, they still didn't give him no credit. They said, "Well, he's supposed to do it. I'm not giving him credit." You see, they did. They just discredit Ward. They just try by any way they can to discredit Ward and not give him credit for something that he actually was going to go through what they were wrong about. Here's one thing: I'm not saying you have to like the guy. Yeah, there's fighters I don't like, but the fact is that when they do something right, I give them full praise. I give them full credit for it. But these guys just don't have the heart rationale to do it, and this is what made me get up so upset about the situation. Yeah, it's like, dude, just give the man credit. He's not a controversial guy. He does the right things outside the ring. He takes care of his family. He gives back to his community. There was some guys who called him a fake Christian gangster. I was like, you know what? Here's one thing I would say about that. First of all, people who say that about Andre Ward being a fake Christian gangster, well, you know what? You say it in his face. You see what happens. They won't say it in his face. It's easy to talk that shit behind the keyboard, but when you go to a fighter's face and say that, you see what's going to happen to you. All right. So come on, man. The Ward hate is really gotten over the top. It's like when he retired, they still didn't want to give him no respect. It's like, okay, fine. It's like, well, why is it that he gets more respect, but not Vladimir? He doesn't get respect that Vladimir Klitschko does, because Vladimir Klitschko's fighting style was criticized by many people. But when he retired, those who did criticize him for his fighting style, including Hatman, they gave him full respect for what he did in his career. He fought in his tactics. He did fight the best in his division. He fought everybody that he could fight. He was dominant for a long time, so we got to give him respect for that. But nobody now, people won't give Ward no respect for Ward wasn't quite as dominant as Klitschko, but he did all the right things. So I don't understand why nobody want to give him no credit. So they can't give him the same level of respect like they give to Vladimir when he retired. So I mean, look, I'm not gonna press on that forever. It is what it is. Things or Ward can't get no respect. So that's the way it is, man. Let's see. Man, y'all guys are coming in with the comment section. Y'all, I like it, man. Y'all cool. Let's see. RP Tito Garcia, he's a punk shot at Bubbles. Yeah, he did, man. Yeah, he did. Yeah, RP to Tito. Yeah, let's see. Joe Host to say, yo, I just joined that. Did they debate? Nah, man, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for dude to come on. I'm still waiting. you know? I'm still waiting for him to come on. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. Doc said Inspector Muppet doesn't want to debate with Dan. Yeah. Yeah, he can only do video responses. That's all he can do. And I'm like, okay, I'm right here. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm right here. I'm still waiting. you know? Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Roscoe said that PP is still hoping for Kovalev to make a comeback. Well, I mean, if they could get that WBO title sanctioned against Sabransky, that would be a little bit of a comeback for Kovalev. He picks up the vacant title, but obviously they're gonna, be very selective of who they fight with that title going forward if they win it, if the WBO grants them that exemption. Or the approval, I'm sorry, not exemption, that approval to make that fight up for grabs for that vacant title. So we'll see. Joe said, "Oh no, tell me they told about Lewis." Yeah, we were just talking about that, Joe. I'm catching up in the comments, man. Forgive me, y'all. Yeah, that was just rumored, a while back. I don't know if that's true, but some guy who trained with Justin Fortune, I mean, he's one of Justin Fortune's trainers. He told me that this actually did happen. So this is what happened. Look, I'm not gonna read into that. That's been a rumor for a long time that I've heard as well. So, some other guys have heard it too, but it is what it. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna get into all that. Let's see. Dude had to sell his laptop, so he begged for it to. Ah man, y'all go a little too hard on PP, man. Ross Clot says, "Daddy man, leave me. PP is around commenting videos. He is. He is. I didn't know that. He's still commenting on videos. I don't know about that, man. I gotta look into that. I heard that Mr. Boxer today chimed in on that. He said something about that a few nights ago on one of my hangouts. So I haven't ran across it. So we'll see. Let's see. Let's see. Sean Romshort. Hey, Sean, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? I ain't heard from you in a long time. Amir Mansour's next challenger. You know what? I don't know, man. Amir Mansour. I was talking about this last night, man, on my hangout, and with Charlie Brown, Boxing, and Bryant. And Amir Mansour just cannot get any big fights, man. It seems like nobody wants to fight the dude. Kvecki didn't want to fight the guy when Mansour offered to fight to him. Dillian White was offered the fight. Dillian White turned the fight down. And who else turned the fight down? Deontay Wilder one time turned the fight down. So I don't. Amir Mansour just can't get a break, man. This is why I say he's better than what the rankings suggest to. And let me give you an example. I read, let's say what I said last night. When Amir Mansour beat what's his name, Travis Kaufman, right? He got what you call it? He got a ranking by the WBC. It was not a world ranking. He got a WBC ranking, right? So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, when the WBC ranked him, Amir Mansour gets pulled out of the rankings just like that. He just got pulled out of the rankings just like that. I think at one time he was ranked high by the WBA, and the WBA lowered his ranking. So I don't know what's going on there. I think that's what I see. And to me, I was just like, well, wait a minute. Why is this guy's getting the short end of the stick all the time? I just don't get it, dude. Yeah, he's not highly ranked, but the dude's fighting hard to get highly ranked. You know what I mean? It's like he's fighting hard for that position. He gets pulled out. He gets passed over. So I don't know what's going on there, man. I really don't know what's going on with Amir Mansour, why he's getting treated this way. It's why I say to guys like, dude, give this guy a shot, man. He's deserved it. He's paid his dues. He's made some mistakes in his life. He's fought his way back. He's had some moderate success, I should say. So I don't like when people be dismissive about him like that. He needs to get a shot, dude. Somebody's got to give him a shot. Somebody's got to do it, Yeah, let's bring up Dominic Brazil. Yes, he quit that fight, but he's bounced back against Travis Kaufman, so he deserves to get some type of opportunity somewhere elsewhere. And I'm mad that Vivek's team didn't want to give him that opportunity. I'm mad that Dillian White didn't want to give him that opportunity. And Deontay Wilder at one point, yes, I got on him for that. So it's like, come on, man. Somebody's got to give this guy a shot. Somebody's got to give him a shot, Let's see what we got in the comment section. Ross Clot says, yeah, Mansour gets low-key ducked. He hits hard, bro. Yeah, he does, man. He does. Yeah, he gets really he's getting ducked by everybody. I don't know what's going on he's a very dangerous fighter. Yeah, very dangerous. But still though, come on, man. He's a heavyweight. He deserves to get an opportunity, you know. So I just don't know, man. Like I said, he's a lot better than what the rankings suggest that he is. He keeps getting pulled out of rankings. I don't understand it. Black Latin Caesar said, why is Kovalev not being called out for fighting the loser of the Sabransky Barrera fight? Barrera beat Sabransky and Joe Smith Jr., and he should be on the first in line for one of the world's belts. You know what? Here's the thing about that. Sullivan Barrera actually was offered the Kovalev fight, and he turned it down. And the reason why he turned it down is because, look, I accepted the terms on Kovalev. I want that fight. This is what Barrera said. I want that fight, but my only stipulation is that you can guarantee me that if I take this fight, then the fight afterwards, I get a bigger purse than what I'm getting now. And Kathy Duva didn't want to oblige to that. So that's the reason why he turned down the offer. So he said, look, if I can't get any guaranteed higher purse than what I'm getting now, I'm getting after this Kovalev fight, then I'm not going to take it. So that's why he turned it down. And then he got upset about the WBA ordering a fight between Dimitri Bivol against Trent Brantford. I think that's his last name, Brantford, who's ranked 12th by the WBA. So I got to state his right on that situation. But the thing to me is like he should have taken the Kovalev fight. I think if he had taken that fight, got that big purse, then he'll be in line to get bigger purses depending on the level of opposition that he fights. So I just don't understand why he did what he did. I just think he should have turned it down. So you can't fault Kovalev for that situation. So that's Sullivan Barrera's part. So let's see what we got here. I see PP. He's probably on his hangout. Ross Clyde. I don't know. Maybe he probably is. We'll see. If PP, if you're on the hangout, brother, just come on, man. Just comment. Say what you gotta say, man. Let's see. Sadeem said that Mansoor versus White would be a great fight. Oh man, that would have been an explosive fight, man. That would have been a hell of a fight. But Dillian White turned it down. Of course, the reason why Dillian White turned it down because he wanted to fight someone down as tall and as big as Deontay Wilder, and he wanted to be prepped up for that. So he fought Malcolm Tan. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So Malcolm Tan was I'm sorry. I like Dillian White, but I cannot give him credit for no Malcolm Tan fight. No. I know when people got on him for the Michael Grant situation, but let's be fair there. Michael Grant is a better fighter than Malcolm Tan. Okay, so yeah, I can't give Dillian White a pass for ducking the Miramar sword. I cannot do it. I'm sorry. Uh, yeah, I mean, Dillian White wants Anthony Joshua rematch so bad. Yeah, I mean, why not? That was a damn good fight. Dillian White hurt Joshua in that fight, almost knocked him down. But Joshua found the wherewithal to fight on, and then he knocked Dillian White out in 7 rounds. So obviously, Dillian White blamed the fact that obviously he was exhausted and he had a shoulder injury, so he was able to put a lot of commitment in his right, in his punches, whatnot. So that's the reason why he lost. Or but obviously it was more due to exhaustion. So that's the reason why he lost that fight. He got knocked out. But let's see. Let's go back to the comment section. Uh, Ross, Black Latin Caesar said, Ross Clyde, hey man, you hate Ward Lard, Jesus. No, he doesn't hate Ward Lard. Ross Clyde sometimes, yeah, he's just, he can be a little critical. That's all he is, man. Let's see. D-Style says, hey, if you are, you suck, PP. Are you reading this, PP? Oh man, I mean, look, man. If he's on, just say something. Let me see. Dick Justice says Sean likes. Yeah, yeah, he probably. Let's see. Kathy Dewis put Barrera on the card for Sabransky Kovalev fight next month. Oh, so he's on the undercard. Okay, who's he fighting? I didn't even know that. So who's he fighting? So that stuff's. You know what's funny about that? Speaking of that, I haven't heard about Kovalev's trainer, so I wonder to know whose trainer is going to be, unless he's going to take the be Boots Shumanov's route and not have a trainer as quarter for one of his biggest fights. He's going to go that route. Well, let's see. Let's see. All right, so you know what? Let me invite some guys on. I'm not waiting for this guy no longer. Let me see if some guys are going to come on. Yeah, so let me know if you guys want to get on, man. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get some people on. Let's see.
Looks like EJ Gang's still on the call. It's an empty hangout. Yeah. Well, they're still on the hangout, so let me know if you guys want to get on. Let me know. Yeah, what up, 122459? Yeah, let me get D-Style and Mr. Doc on. Let me get these guys on. One two two four five two nine. Say everybody let you know 122459 is a female boxer fan. So it's good to have a female perspective. I gotta mention that once again. So let's see. Yeah, let me get D-Style on. There you go, bruh. Mr. Doc. Get you in too. Yeah, Ross Cloud says that Hearns would hurt Floyd. Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. I think Hearns would batter Floyd. He would really hurt him badly. I mean, batter him. I mean, yeah, that style. That's that stylistic matchup. Now that's totally wrong for Floyd. I mean, only way Floyd would win that fight somehow, some way, he's going to have to pressure Tommy Hearns. He's going to have to back him up and keep him away from the center of the ring. But Floyd, I don't think Floyd would have the power to get Hearns' respect to do that. So, I mean, Leonard, on the other hand, had the power. I mean, because he could hit a lot harder. And he was a ferocious, mean fighter. He could fight you at the inside. I mean, don't get me wrong, Floyd could do it too. But as far as the power gap, yeah, Floyd just didn't have that to hurt Tommy Hearns. So Tommy Hearns would not give him no respect. Yeah, exactly, Black Caesar. I agree. Yeah, he was a lot more rugged. He was much more tougher, fighter in the inside. Yeah, 147. Yeah, Floyd wouldn't be able to handle the Tommy Hearns. He would not be able to handle that guy. He wouldn't stand that type of style fight. Like I said, it's a wrong style of fight for him. Yeah, Dick Justice says that Hearns would destroy Floyd easier than Benitez. Well, Benitez had, Benitez pretty much was trying so hard to keep fight from the outside because he was so afraid to trade with Tommy Hearns in the inside. Uh, yeah. So basically, yeah, he just he tried to stay away from him as far as he can and try to win the fight from the outside, and that was not going to happen. So, somebody just jumped on. Let's see, it's Mr. Doc. What's happening, sir? What's happening? What's happening?
Hey, what's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well, brother. I can
Cool,
hear you
bro.
very well.
So I hear
So,
Erickson Lubin finally woke up. That's good.
oh yeah, 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 man, yeah. I mean, look, I said this once and I say it again. I hate to be the one that was right about this. I told everybody that guy. I hate to say it, man. I like Erickson Lubin, but he was not ready for that fight. I said
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
he was not ready for that
And
fight.
I got to set an example for some of these fanboys. Once again, this is it's real simple. I was wrong twice, in fact.
Yeah.
Now I will hold my L's rather in peace and keep it moving. See, simple,
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, sometimes I take L's too, man. I say, hey, I'll come on and tell you I was wrong. I said that about Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao. I thought Jeff Horn was not ready for that fight, and then Jeff Horn proved me wrong. I said, you know what? Hats off to Jeff Horn, man. He proved me wrong. That he proved to me that he can actually compete on a world level. I thought he was not ready to fight on world level, and he did that against Pacquiao. Regardless of how you felt that he was being rugged in that fight or not, but he was able to compete against a guy who's been on the world stage for many years. A guy who was heavily favored to beat him. So, yeah, I took a bit of it. I took the L right there too.
And heard, I didn't think he would be able to do, Trout like he did Harrison, or at least not Trout looking as sharp as he did the first 6 rounds. To me, anyways.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought.
Damn it! I was almost. It was like the John Jackson Charlo fight. I was just starting to get smug, and then Trout got clipped, and it went downhill from there. How
Oh
do you
yeah,
feel
oh
about
yeah,
the
yeah.
stoppage?
I think you know what about
here's the thing. I thought Alistair Trout was going to go. I mean, he needed 2 more rounds, and from the looks of it, I think his corner's like, no, nah, man, you're tired, you're getting battered, so you're getting worn down. I'm not going to risk you getting knocked out, getting hurt. So they pulled him out before that could happen. I can understand that stoppage to some degree, but look, I mean, the thing is that Alistair Trout put too much in the shot to get Jared Hurd out. And the way we jumped out Jared Hurd, you got to hurt the guy. You got to really make him respect you. And he's one of those guys that
I couldn't. That's a good point. I couldn't believe some of the stuff Hurd walked through because Trout was hitting him flush at times. Trout, you know what I mean?
Trout hits harder than Harrison. He hits harder than Harrison. And the thing is that he literally gave Trout no respect. No respect. So it's like, wow.
I mean, I thought Trout was even kind of, in terms of landing the clean punches, he was even winning in the clinches. But like you say, Hurd just didn't carry. He was, almost just more like steamrolling him than, you know what I mean, beating him down to an extent.
Right. He did.
Which is what he does. That's kind of, I got to give him, again, whether I like the style or not, I got to give him his due. You know what I mean? He gets it done.
Right. And here's the thing about it. The one thing I have to say about Jared Hurd is that he's got to work on his defense. He's got a lot of defensive deficiencies right there. He's got to work on hand movement a bit more. He did show that in the 7th round that also he realized that Trout was worn down. He didn't have to really do that now. But at the same time, you don't want to keep getting hit like that because I know in the Tony Harrison fight, he was getting hit there too. He was getting hit a lot in that fight as well. So he's got to learn to stop getting hit. Now he's talking about fighting Charlo. No, that's the wrong guy right there to take hits against. Okay? So it's going to be some point in some time that he's going to meet a guy who's a heavy puncher. Okay? Now, Charlo is not known to be a knockout artist. I know that. But the dude can punch. He's a heavy puncher. He's a heavy-handed guy. So Hurd better, I hope he doesn't rely too much on that chin if once that fight gets made against Charlo. Don't rely too much on that chin because Charlo he could crack a lot harder than his last 2 opponents that Hurd fought. A lot harder.
Oh yeah, so, that's what bailed him out in the John Jackson fight.
Oh yeah, definitely. So Jared Hurd's got to work on defense. He's really got to work on that. Oh, D Styles in here? Didn't see it. Yeah, there he is. What's going on, brother?
Can you hear us, dude?
Yeah. You hear us? Yeah, your mic is not muted.
I make this mistake the mistake I make all the time is I forget I've got my stuff set up for my guitar, and I'm like, oh crap, I have to switch things around.
Yeah, it happens, brother. It happens. Oh, there you go. I knew that was coming.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
I hear the cop in the background. Where's the cop at?
I've been waiting for you. I mean, look, I sent him a private message. I said, "Come on, I'm right here. Let's talk."
No, hold on, because you don't understand what's going on here. Okay, let me explain this to you. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, he doesn't have time to talk about all this. Okay, he only has time to talk about it in multiple videos that are 30 minutes long. Okay.
Exactly.
It's a time thing. How do you expect him to make room for a debate when he's got to do 50 video responses to you? You got to be a little more flexible.
You gotta be a little more realistic here, Dad.
Well, first of all, that's a good point. So basically, you have no time to talk to me for at least an hour or two, but you got what?
And then he doesn't have time to debate PACQUIAO Holyfield with you. He debates it with himself for 30 minutes. Okay. He doesn't have time to explain why he believes Pacquiao is better. He'll do it in a video for 30 minutes instead.
I don't know, man. The dude's all over the place, man. Like I said, the reason why I called him out is because he went after Quetsex, right, for ducking him for debate. Since he brought up Holyfield Pacquiao one time in one of the videos, that hangout that you and I did with Charlie Brown, when he went after Charlie Brown. So I put two together and said, okay, you brought up Pacquiao Holyfield when we had that dialogue a while back. Then you go after Quetsex for duck you for debate. You're in debate mode all of a sudden, so let's debate about that because we never got a chance to do it. And now he's running around saying, I don't have time to do it. He goes in on Evander Holyfield, right? And he goes in at Tony ZALE, because I called him out on that too, saying that he said that Tony ZALE was not greater than Gennady Golovkin. He said that. And then he turns around saying that I just said that ZALE would get knocked out by Golovkin. I was like, well, that's not what you said. You said that Tony ZALE was not greater than Golovkin. Then he says, well, I know Tony ZALE's resume is better. So he's all over the place. So I'm like, dude, just come on here and just back up what you say. Just come on here. I sent him a private message, and I'm still waiting on it, and he hasn't responded. So, I'm like, dude, look, man, if you're gonna keep playing,
call me crazy. I have a feeling he'll never show up.
No, but you see what's happening. He's not gonna show up now. Shit, you kidding me? But, I'll glad look if he comes on to make him feel more comfortable. I'll log out. Okay, I'll go and listen. All right. So Sean Yoon, I know you're listening to this, bro. Sean, I know you're listening. Okay, like I know you are. But anyway, maybe. Because I know, like, I guarantee you right now, right? His next video is going to say, welcome back, right? And then he's going to follow that up with, well, there we go again. Dan the man doesn't understand that I don't have time to talk about this. And he's going to proceed to talk about it, which is the most astonishing thing imaginable.
Yeah, just stop making the response video that he's making. He's probably making it right now. You should just stop it now and jump.
Yeah, but it's 2%. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm the bigger person. I'm not going to waste my time and my breath. Right? It's 98% debate. I mean, he's debating the issue. He says he's not going to debate. I think he needs to look up the definition of a debate.
Right, that's exactly what he's doing in the video responses towards me on this topic. That's what he's doing. I was like, bruh.
And then by his logic is, well, we disagree on the issue, so what's the point of talking about it? Well, that's a debate. That's literally what a debate is. Like, people don't debate something they agree with.
And when you include the upload time, he's actually taking more time.
Right. Like here, it's live. He doesn't have to take time to upload it, right? I mean, Dan the man's doing the uploading for him. He just has to come on, talk. But yes, I don't know if Sean Yoon is aware of this, but in a debate, yes, there's opposing points of views, right?
Right.
If he wants to know how debate works, all he has to do is look at mine from Wednesday when I destroyed Jay Cotto, by the way. But that aside, and that's some what do I call it? Selfless self-promoting by D-Style.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point, man. I just don't. I don't know. I don't understand why. Like I said, I think the reason why he knows he doesn't want to come on here because he knows he's going to get that same beating that he got from me in the library when he did it live one time. So,
and I like how he says, if you're not gonna what do he say? He's like, I don't know. I'm gonna come on, and he literally says it. He goes, all you gonna do is clown me and make fun of me. So why would I come on? Like I'm just like
exactly. That's what I said. I was like, dude, you're all over the place. First you say you're willing to come on, then you're gonna say, well, I'm not gonna come on now because you're gonna come after me. You're gonna be condescending to me. I was like, no. If you get out of line, I will do that. Number one. Number two, I challenge you. Here's the thing. You said that your biggest complaint is that you don't like when people talk about social issues a lot. You said let's keep it boxing. Well, I'm keeping it boxing with you. So here's your opportunity to come on. We're not talking about social issues. We're talking about boxing history. We're talking about who's greater between.
Sean, there's no such thing as just boxing with Sean Yoon. Sean Yoon is literally a constant conversation about social constructs and how black supremacists are dominating the boxing media and landscape in his world and in his mind, right? I mean, so everything is social with Sean Yun, right? Everything's about this group said this group said that. You know, the agenda of the group is this, the agenda of the group is that. That's Sean's whole thing, right? For him to sit down,
conspiracy dudes?
for him to sit down and have a debate that's just strictly boxing is literally out of his elements. He is not a person that just sits down and talks boxing. He literally, okay, all he does all the time is talk social issues, okay, and masking it as boxing, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's an absolutely good point. So again, you know, it just goes back to my offer to him. I was like, let's put the social issues aside. I don't really do that in my videos. Let's put that aside. Come on here, let's talk about it. He doesn't say. Then he turns around and says, I don't want to talk about history. Really? You said Manny Pacquiao's greater than Evander Holyfield. Guess what?
Right.
That's history right there. That's history. That's history component there.
I never got that either. Like he's like, so according to Sean Yun,
where's the
you can't cite history, right?
Yeah, what's the cutoff point? It's
it's like a rule that you can't go back more than 2 years. Like, you know, how does that work?
Yeah, exactly. So if you say that Manny Pacquiao is greater than Evander Holyfield, and you say that Gennady Golovkin is greater than Tony ZALE, guess what? You're talking about history when you say that. So I want you to come on. We'll talk about it. I'll lay out all the historical facts that makes ZALE and Holyfield greater than those two guys that you claim they are. And you say, well, it's my opinion, so I'm not going to debate on the opinion. No. Right to your opinion. But you have to back up opinion with facts.
Plus,
just because you have an opinion doesn't make it fact.
Like, I don't understand why he's concerned about it. So, in other words, if he is so confident in his stance that Manny Pacquiao is greater than Holyfield, right? I guess that's his stance. What's he worried about? If bringing up history is so flawed, then why is he worried about it? You know, you would think it's to his advantage. Like, you know, if citing history in any way, shape, or form is so flawed and doesn't make sense, or then he should let the audience decide that whenever they hear the debate. You know,
well, that's what I told him. That's what I told him. I was like, let the audience decide.
Cherry picking.
But I mean, it's like he wants to race you, but he's saying that it's flawed to, like, you know, use your feet. You know, it's just.
Well, that's what I told him. I told him, like, look. It's your job to convince the audience, your audience, my audience, whoever. It's your job to convince them that Manny Pacquiao is greater than Evander Holyfield.
Right.
It's your job to do that. Okay? So don't sit there and cop out of it now. Don't cop out of it. You went after Quest Product for debate.
Now don't cop out of it, you cop.
Yeah, you exactly. So I mean,
you may have hit on something there, Dan. Maybe it's not even so much you clowning him; it's, as you put it, the audience clowning him afterwards, forevermore.
Right. That's probably what he's afraid of. I'm like, dude, it's not my fault that they're making.
Like, I'll debate you, but you have to be very, very kind to me, and you have to respect me as a person. And if you cite history, I just can't do it. Like, it's like these weird conditions.
Because he's this paragon of respect and
like well, I just don't I don't get this whole. Then he likes to constantly say, right? He constantly says over and over again, you just want to cite shit or history that nobody cares about, right? No, Sean, you don't care about it. You don't get to tell everybody what they care about, don't care about, right?
Right.
You know, it's just, that's not the way it works. You know, but I like how he's very like things that, because Sean Yun apparently knows a lot about, you know, certain channels because he's been stalking them, okay, for years, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys. When I don't like a channel, I just don't listen to it, right? But it's a very simple concept, actually. It's not that difficult to do. Maybe in Taiwan they force Sean to listen to these videos. Maybe there's something deeper going on here.
He's trapped in that place.
Maybe he doesn't understand the concept of freedom of expression and having the freedom to watch whatever he wants, right? But the point I was going to make is he's an expert on what Dante's Boxing Nation has said, or what 78 has said, or what Dan has said, or Blood Boxing, or even myself to a certain degree. He's an expert about that, right? Because his audience, they love him coming on and saying, oh yeah, they, them, he likes to play that card, and and he's the victim, and they all like to be in their victimhood all together. He's an expert on that, but you notice how he'll never say, well, nobody cares what 78 had to say. No, nobody cares what Dan has to say. He always has to respond, always. But when it comes to history of boxing, which a lot of people care about, he just dismisses it, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah. But that's because he doesn't know anything about it. He does not know anything about history. He feels very uncomfortable talking about things that he knows nothing about, okay? This guy knows more quotes of Dante's Boxing than Dante's Boxing himself, right? Okay, this dude knows more about uploaders on YouTube than they do of themselves. Okay, this dude knows when they leave the driveway. Okay, he knows what type of dog they have, that for sure. So guard your dogs, all right? This guy knows everything. He knows what time of day you're doing videos, and he's watching this video right now. I know he is. I would bet
I know he is.
Anything that this motherfucker, okay, is listening to this shit right now. I know he is. Okay, I will bet anything.
He's going to say that, after this is concluded, he said, why should I come on now? You got Mr. Dr. D-Style on. I'm like, well, first of all,
okay,
I was saying
I'll jump off. As soon as he comes on, I'll jump off.
Me too.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're listening to, hey, Sean, if you're listening, I know you are. I offer you the invite, you got the message, take a look at it. The link is there. So once you just hop on, click on the link. Once you get on, Mr. Dr. D-Style will get off.
You know what Sean sounds like whenever he talks about, nobody cares about history. Why bring up history? You know what he sounds like? Have you ever seen that movie? What's the name of that movie? The dude that goes to the they freeze him, right? And he's in the army, and then they years later, Idiocracy or something like that.
Well, you're talking about not Captain America. You're talking about that Mel Gibson movie. He was frozen so many years, right?
The dude was frozen, right? He was in the army. He was frozen, and then they were supposed to unfreeze him in a year's time. But
that was a Mel Gibson movie. I know which one you're talking about.
No, it's not a Mel Gibson movie. This is not a serious movie. It's about how dumb people got over time.
Oh,
right. So people got super stupid. What's the name of that movie? Is it Idiocracy or something like that?
It could be. I don't know.
But anyway,
that's the name of a movie. That's for sure.
Well, the dude ends up in the future, right? And humans have become so stupid, right? Where him, who was not a smart dude in his time, is now the smartest person on Earth, right? Yeah. And but anyway, when he gets taken to court for some stupid offense, he starts giving reason and logic in his defense. And the reporters, because everybody's stupid at the time, they're reporting on how he was defending himself in court, but their translation of it is, oh yeah, he started to say a bunch of gay mumbo jumbo like blah 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 blah, right? And if you watch the movie, it's hilarious, but that's what Sean sounds like. Like all he hears is blah 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 when logic is being said to him, but that's all he hears. You know,
like the teacher in the old Charlie Brown cartoons.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
There you go. That's all he hears. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that language. He doesn't know boxing history. Okay. He feels uncomfortable when somebody starts citing history because he doesn't know anything about it. Right.
No, exactly.
And I know he doesn't because when he tries to parallel opponents of Hagler with opponents of Gennady Golovkin, then that tells you everything. You know, it's
exactly
even comparing it to B-Hop's resume. I'm sorry, there really is no comparison. No, but to him, right, it is because he's an expert, right? He goes to BoxRec and just looks at the names. That's what the guy does. I mean, but there's some stuff that BoxRec won't tell you at the end of the day.
You can at least watch the fight, you know. I'm just saying.
Right. It's
Well, I mean, go ahead.
no. I was going to say. I mean, knowing I have yet to meet someone that knows everything about boxing history. You could literally learn something new about boxing every day. That's how much history the sport has, right? So me, I'll have conversations with people, and they'll mention stuff. I'll be like, "Wow, I didn't know that," right? And it's okay to say that. But
well, it's funny though. It's funny though. He made one quote in that last response video towards me, one of his last response videos, right? This is really tells me this is where he's way out of his element. He said that Evander Holyfield did not fight an elite natural heavyweight in his career. That's what he said.
right.
Right? I'm like, well, wait a minute, what?
What? Wait, what?
Evander Holyfield never fought or beat a natural long heavyweight in his career.
Oh no,
I'm like,
of
well,
course not.
seriously?
Right.
Elite
He was only the
heavyweight.
undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Like, but
So I imagined him beating Riddick Bowe one of those times out of the three.
Yeah.
I
Well, he
could've
described
sworn
that.
happened.
first of all,
He said, well,
there's no such thing as a quote unquote natural heavyweight. That doesn't exist. Okay, heavyweight isn't like the other weight classes where it has a weight limit or any of that. Okay.
right.
So of course we understand it to be the big men, right? But the weight
Right.
classes were actually created so to protect little dudes. It wasn't created like Sean Ewan makes it seem, right? But if he knew boxing history, he would know that. But since he doesn't,
Right, exactly. And the thing is, too, he tried to make it out. He said he tried to discredit the Riddick Bowe fight, the second fight. He was like, oh, people didn't think he won that fight. Some people thought he lost. Some people thought he won. Okay, really? Well, I can say that
what
about
are these
Pacquiao.
people? Like, what people? Like,
Yeah,
what
well,
people.
I mean, I don't know what he's talking about because, first of all, Holyfield won that second fight. Many people felt he won it, but it was still close.
Yeah, but
Number
here's
one.
the thing. So you're making all these great points. This is boxing history, by the way, but you're making all these great points, Sean. Why don't you come on and have a response ready in the heat of the moment? Why can't you do that, Sean? I know
That's
you're
all
watching
right.
this, Sean.
Yeah, he is. He is, man. And the funny two things too, and he said, well, Pacquiao got controversial decisions over Marquez in 2 fights. Okay, he doesn't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
People
people were saying that Marquez won those fights, and we're just using the word people. We're just throwing that
Right.
word around.
Right, exactly.
Like
So-
literally, like in order to for people, like if two people feel a certain way, you can literally say you can use the phrase "people thought," right? Literally, it just
Right.
takes more than one person to feel that way. So that's a very vague term to say, right? I mean, it's that is extremely vague, And I like how Sean Ewan says lines like, "Pacquiao has won more. He's been a world champion in more weight classes than anybody in history." I like how he says that. But since he doesn't like to hear about history, maybe if he educated himself about the history of boxing, he would know
Right.
that today we have more belts in every division, and we have more divisions, and the lower weight classes where Pacquiao started have some divisions separated by 3 pounds, right?
Exactly.
So those things can actually be talked about. How is Evander Holyfield, who started at cruiserweight, how is he supposed to even? He can't even try to match that record because he doesn't.
Right.
He didn't have a weight class separated by bowel movements. Okay.
Right. Exactly. And there's another thing I can add to that too, is that Evander Holyfield was a guy who moved up. He won. Let's see, Evander Holyfield fought guys who were outweighed him by like 30, 40 pounds almost in every fight by average. 30 pounds by average.
Right.
He even fought George Foreman, who outweighed him by what? Was it 59? Well, George Foreman weighed 257 when they fought, and Holyfield weighed 208. So that's a 49-pound disparity. Okay, I initially said 50-something, but it's actually 49 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's a 49-pound disparity.
Yeah. If you
So
if
it really
you
outweighed him by 40 pounds.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
if you overvalue weight, moving up in weights, it punishes the heavyweights. Because like D-Style says, what are they supposed to do? They can't.
Right.
I mean, I guess they could
weight.
create a weight class every 7 pounds up there too, and Evander Holyfield would have been a 13 division champion.
Oh yeah.
But we don't do that because that's stupid. right? I mean, that would be dumb. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to also add is though Evander Holyfield accomplished a lot in 2 weight classes that Pacquiao did in 8. For example, Holyfield won 14 world titles combined. Pacquiao won 13 world titles combined with lineal titles. So tell me
with
how's
more
that
options, by the way. So
yeah, and Pacquiao had more options. Exactly, he had a lot more options. He was able to catch weight guys in most of his title fight wins. He did that against prime guys or top tier guys, as you want to say. But when he couldn't do that against top tier guys like Floyd Mayweather, he lost.
Right.
So if you want to talk about who did win their biggest fights, Pacquiao did win his biggest fight of his career. He lost that fight. Who did? Evander Holyfield did. He beat Mike Tyson, the biggest fight of his career.
So Evander Holyfield had to hit 3 home runs, to use a metaphor here. Pacquiao just had to get to first base to win titles. Okay, just to kind of give you an example here. Okay, yes, these styles done the math. So what I mean by that is, given the amount of titles that are in each weight class, okay, and the amount of weight classes. I mean, just think about it. I mean, you go to one weight class, you have 4, sometimes more, because they have like interim and supers and regular titles and stuff, right? And some are even vacant, like you don't even have to beat a champion, right? You guys should correct me if I'm wrong. Did Evander Holyfield ever win a vacant title?
Yeah, he did actually. He won it against what's his name?
John Ruiz. This? John Ruiz. Yeah, what this was, this was afterwards.
At the end of his career.
But as far as from his cruiserweight run to when he first won the heavyweight championship, I mean, to me, that is a hell of an accomplishment. Of course, if you put it next to Manny Pacquiao on paper, like if you just write down this guy won this many world titles and this other guy won this many world titles, well, of course, but that's like arguing that Michael Phelps is a better Olympian than Usain Bolt because he has more gold medals.
Right.
Well, Usain Bolt only participates in 2 sports. That they don't have backwards running and, like they don't have like different types of running that he could do, right? So now that's a whole nother conversation. But you can't, if both individuals don't have the same opportunity to win the same amount of titles, right, and have the same circumstances, that to me it's null and void, right? It's Holyfield did not have 5, 6 divisions north of him when he turned pro, right, to go ahead and conquer, right? I mean, he literally went to the weight class that has no weight limit. And like you said, he was outweighed by 20, 40 pounds at times, right? And that is substantial. Holyfield made a bigger jump, okay? I believe Holyfield fought Beluev, right? Arguably should have won that fight. Okay, it could go either. I mean, I haven't watched that fight in years.
Yeah, Valuev. Yeah, that was a fight many people knew he won, but didn't get the decision. So
he didn't get the decision. But my point is, right, from when he started at cruiserweight, and cruiserweight at the time was not 200, right? So when he started at cruiserweight, and by the way, that's history. You just got to learn it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's why you need to learn history, so you can know these things. Right?
That's that word again, yeah.
Right. But if you go from where he started to the heaviest dude he ever fought, that's a much bigger jump than where, you always hear of Manny Pacquiao turned pro at 106 pounds, right? And then he won the title at a catch weight of 150, right?
Yeah.
Holyfield made a bigger jump in his career in terms of weight. That's just a fact.
Yeah, it did. That's exactly what I pointed out. One of the gist is what I was going to point out, because if you look at the weight disparity between Pacquiao and when Pacquiao jumped up, it's a 38-pound difference, but it's not like Pacquiao fought those guys who outweighed him by 38 pounds. The most the guy ever outweighed him was 18 pounds, 17 pounds. That was Antonio Margarito at the thick catch weight 150.
Right.
Yeah, went to fight night. That was it. Yeah. I mean, compare that in contrast to Holyfield fighting a guy that outweighed him by 40 pounds.
Holyfield didn't get slept several times in his career either. So,
yeah, exactly. So he also discredited the Holyfield win against Mike Tyson. And this is what he said. He said that I knew that Mike Tyson was going to lose that fight. I knew that. Okay, I knew that because Mike Tyson was shocked. was like, what?
No, he didn't know that. And how did he? How old is Sean Newton? Because now I'm wondering, do we have like a 6-year-old man around here? Like, what? How old is he? Like, how old is this guy? 40?
Well, he said that Mike Tyson was shot and he was he's past his prime.
And he knew this at what age? How old is? Does anybody know how old Sean is?
50. I think he's 50 years old now. He's turned 50.
Holy fuck! He's 50.
Yeah.
50-year-old man. Okay, stalking channels on YouTube. But look, okay.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. That's
holy smokes. Damn. Anyway, like he did not know. That's a very convenient thing to say. Saying how the hell was Tyson? How did he know he was shot? Like that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Well, before I get to that, Low Place chimed in on this. He said, y'all acting like Holyfield was 175 pounds or something. Low Place, this is something you didn't know, man. Evander Holyfield actually started his career at 175.
This is actually why I need to know history.
Okay. Evander Holyfield fought at light heavyweight in the amateurs. Yeah. Oh, my God. See, this is the reason why you and him don't know. You guys got to study
Manny Pacquiao was not in, and this is why history is important. Manny Pacquiao was not in this great amateur system like Holyfield was. Holyfield ended up going to the Olympics. Manny Pacquiao turned pro as a teenager, okay, to feed his mom. We all know this story, right? To buy a bag of rice and all that. It's a great story. But the point is, he was a teenager when he turned pro, right? So if we're going to credit Pacquiao from where he started boxing, then we have to be accurate and say Holyfield started at 175 pounds.
Exactly.
So we're not acting like it. We're just, stating the fact.
That's the truth. It's a fact. He wasn't 35 pounds.
Like, how do you act like he started at 175 pounds anyway? Like, how would we do that? Like,
how you do that? He did, dude. Now this is what he said. He's like, well, he wasn't a 175-pound champion. Dude, dude. That's not what you said. You tripped.
Did he make the weight or not? It doesn't matter. That's
I like how they move the goalpost. Every single time, like
instantly, like have a second, man. The things are moved.
Like it reminds me of this one time that there's an uploader called Aztec 101, something like that.
Yeah.
And
height classes, is that the guy?
The what?
The height classes do.
Yeah. Like if you're tall, then you need to move up the weight. But here's what he said. Okay, he literally said, and I quote: "The United States will never have a Mexican superstar of Mexican descent," right? And that's what he said.
Right.
And I did a video and I said, well, I don't know if you heard of this, but there's a dude called Oscar De La Hoya, right? Who was the biggest name in boxing for quite some time, actually. He was the face of boxing for a while. Not only was he the face of boxing, he was the first face of boxing that was not a heavyweight, at least in the pay-per-view era, right? Then he moved the goalposts. He's like, oh yeah, but there's a lot of races in this country.
Exactly. Well, he's moving the goalpost again. He said, "Look, Holyfield has never fought above 135. He never made the weight." Low Place. Evander Holyfield's first 4 pro fights was at 175.
This is one of those instances where you can actually use BoxRec, right?
Yeah, it is.
Well, I don't need BoxRec for that.
I'm just saying for whoever is having trouble here. See, I'm not one of those people that say, don't use BoxRec or any of that. My only issue with Google and BoxRec and all these things, right, is that it doesn't always have information for you, and there's a lot of misinformation out there, obviously.
Yeah.
But in a case like this, it would actually be helpful for him to just go to BoxRec, before you say something that's inaccurate.
Yeah.
But here's what I want to go back to. Right, when I was talking, right, I did mention only cruiserweight, right, and the heaviest guy he fought, at the end of his run. That's all I said. So all I'm asking is, how does one act like Holyfield started at 175, or something? How was I acting that way? I don't understand. I don't even understand what that means.
They talk about holy syntax error back then.
Like, let's say Holyfield never fought at 175. Yeah. How was I acting like he started at 175?
Right.
That statement doesn't make sense.
Well, here's the thing. He's looking at BoxRec right now and saying, well, no, that's bullshit. He fought at 177. First of all, the weight is not correct on BoxRec. He started at 175, bruh. That's in the record books. He did. The weights is incorrect because BoxRec don't have the weight disparities correct all the time.
You know, the funny part is that even if you give them the 2 pounds, you know,
Yeah.
we're acting like you started 177. Okay, there.
Behaving.
I just don't know how one acts that way. I don't even know what that means. I'm just.
Dude, those 4 fights were at light heavyweight, dude. That's what goes in the record books. It's light heavyweight fights, not cruiserweight fights. This dude, man. You gotta study your history, bro.
But seriously,
you gotta learn your history.
Plus, BoxRec doesn't show his amateur career, so.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
he doesn't.
I say
Exactly.
that shit all the time. I say it all the time. I don't know shit about that. You know.
Sometimes people don't understand what research is. So let me give you an example. Okay, it's gonna be another cheap plug of mine, but so excuse me. But anyway, like me, I didn't go to Google and type, does VADA make clear that you have to ask for medical exemptions, and then look it up and find somebody else's shit. No. What I did was I actually went to the VADA website. I looked through their website. I found that they had the forms on there. I pulled up the forms myself. I looked at them myself. See, that's research, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these dudes think typing something or asking a question on Google is research. It's not. If you go to BoxRec and just look at names and records, that's a form. That's partial research, but it doesn't tell you the whole story, right? You could look at a name, but you have to actually know the careers of these people to understand, okay, and what part of their career were they in when, you know, whenever you fought, you know, that person, you know.
Right.
So
let me also say, let me say what they
Sure.
do. This dude, you're right on that. But here, this dude is going in again. He said, look, if a champ goes on a scale and weighs at 177, he's getting stripped because there ain't no light heavyweight. That's not moving the goalposts, right? Dude, you don't get it, bruh. The weight is incorrect. He weighed at 175 in his first four fights at his pro debut. Okay, number one. Number two, the fact is that he campaigned at light heavyweight, bruh. You have to start cross-referencing your research. When you said that you guys act like a vendor fought at light heavyweight, we corrected you on that. We told you that's not true. He actually did fight at light heavyweight in his first 4 fights as a pro. And then you want to talk about, 177 is not a light heavyweight. No. That's not the correct weight on BoxRec, okay? The correct weight was 175, okay? And he was not a champion when he first started. Ah, Jesus Christ, man.
it's not only that, it's also a moot point. I mean,
yeah. So the guy he started his career at light heavyweight, and he was a light heavyweight in the amateurs. Okay, he was a small guy, bro. Okay.
Look, if you really want to get down to it, Dan was off by 2 pounds. How many? Which means you were off by however many more. So
yeah.
At the end of the day, I still don't know how we were acting like. You know,
what? That's one of the more
now.
Bizarre
If I would have been on here telling everybody that Evander Holyfield won a light heavyweight title and all this, if I would have said that, then he would have a point. I would be acting.
Light heavyweight king.
I would literally be acting like he won a title 170. I would be acting like it, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't do that, so.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna act, I'll just act like Manny Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez in the 3rd round. Well, that actually happened.
Oh, yeah, low places at it again.
3rd fight, I'm sorry.
He said that Holyfield debuted at 175, 77.5. Dude, how many times I have to tell you that's not correct? I actually have another information that backs that up. He fought at 175, not 177 as BoxRec has stated. All right, dude, it's a light heavyweight fight. Get over it. Okay?
We need Stevie Forbes on this case right now.
Yeah,
2 pounds.
Yeah, it was a light heavyweight fight. Get over it, bro.
I mean, we're talking about some of these weight classes are separated by less than what a baby weighs. Okay, when they're born. Okay, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, man. Oh, Boxing Librarians in the chat room. He said, "Hey, low place." Shout out to the library. He said, "Low place said not too many guys go from 106 to 154." Let's see. Jordan Carpenter. Carpenter went from flyweight to heavyweight, which is true. Ted Kid Lewis went from flyweight to heavyweight. Leo Huck, the real white murders role member, Leo Huck went from flyweight to heavyweight. Yep,
Hold on.
exactly.
Let me. What's the first weight class that Pacquiao won the title in again?
Flyweight.
Give me the number. What's the pounds?
I think flyweight's 112.
112? Okay. So here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Why can't we say that Holyfield started at light heavyweight, but you could say that Pacquiao started at 106? Huh?
Well, 112. Yeah, 112. Yeah.
No, but they keep saying, oh, he started at 106. He started at 106. Well, he didn't win the title at 106.
No, he didn't win the title at 106. It was at 112.
We could use 106 for Pacquiao.
Yeah, I'm trying to squeeze those couple extra pounds.
I'll give him the 2 pounds. 177 for Holyfield. Okay, and not only that, I already explained this. Pacquiao turned pro, okay, as a teenager, right? Evander Holyfield had Olympic aspirations. He was an amateur. Okay, Holyfield obviously, while he was an amateur, grew because that's what people do over time. They grow, right? And once he turned pro, okay, let's say it was 177, whatever. It really doesn't matter. Okay.
Right.
He was obviously at one point in Holyfield's life. At one point of his life, Holyfield was 106 pounds. Okay. Yeah. Everybody was 106 pounds at one point in their life. It just so happens that Pacquiao, when he turned pro as a professional boxer, was 106 pounds. Right. Some people are 106 pounds when they're like 10, you know, but anyway. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's you can't compare. Are you going to compare that to what Roy Jones did?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can't really compare that. I mean, there's a good point. I mean,
Roy Jones doesn't have as many world titles because there isn't as many weight classes there, right? Really? Plus, a lot of these weight classes that Pacquiao won titles in, I'm very sorry to inform you guys, and I do have the numbers because I did research about this, okay? Right? You can't just type this down and ask on Google. I actually did research on it, right? These lower weight classes, they don't have as many participants as the higher weight classes. They just don't. I'm very sorry to inform you guys. There's not a lot of competition down there.
Yeah. That's true, but to be fair though, Manny Pacquiao did have some good competition at flyweight that he didn't fight. There was Mark Too Sharp Johnson there. He didn't fight him. There was
Too Sharp.
Too Sharp. Yeah, that's Too Sharp. Everybody avoided him. So yeah, there was Rosendo Alvarez there. He didn't fight him. Irene Pacheco was there too. Didn't fight him. So there were some guys down there at flyweight.
So he avoided people in the divisions where there's the least participants, if I'm understanding all this correctly.
Well, no. Minimum weight has these participants. Flyweight ain't that bad. It only has like today has like 600. It could have been different when Pacquiao was fighting.
No, I was saying those in general, those weights. From
so that the good fighters that were there, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
And now, granted, let's say he was young and he wouldn't be the first titleist to be kind of protected or whatever, right? But in a debate, if you're going to compare him to Evander Holyfield, then that has to be brought up.
Exactly, yes.
Well, okay, low place to say that, well, Pacquiao made 105 weight limits. Not my fault that Evander Holyfield didn't make weight. Oh, God, bruh. Evander Holyfield fought at light heavyweight.
Okay, so if Lopez could find something that says that Evander Holyfield was fined, that's what they do when you don't make weight, okay? Then go ahead and find me that.
Yeah, exactly. Do us a favor, man. Go find some information that Evander Holyfield was penalized for not making weight.
I like Librarian's question. Name the cruiserweights that Pacquiao fought.
Not only that, the one that stands out to me, honestly, is Pacquiao's career at 126 and 130 is great. I'm not going to complain about any of that, okay? Yeah. However, at 135 pounds, lightweight, he had one fight, and it was against a very, very weak champion. Okay, David Diaz. That was that was not. I mean, he was the weakest of the weakest champions in boxing. Period. In that weight class, I mean, and this is lightweight, by the way. Lightweight, along with welterweight, are two of the most packed divisions in the sport, as well as 140. But Pacquiao, he fought the weakest champion there, man. Casamayor was around at the time.
Yeah, maybe.
Juan Diaz was around. I believe was still undefeated. And you also had Nate Campbell there, right? And if anybody wants to scoff at those names, well, remember, he fought David Diaz.
Yeah. I think all three of those would have been good fights.
Well, you know, it's of course he would have. But he didn't do those fights.
Right.
Nope, we got David Diaz.
And also, I know I said this earlier in the chat, but and I know you touched on it, Dan, man, but I have a hard time giving Pacquiao credit, all right, for the junior middleweight title or super welterweight, whatever you want to call it. The reason I have a hard time is because he won it at a catchweight, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Lopez wants to talk about guys, you know, that he wants to get all technical about 2 pounds. Well, 4 pounds was the catch weight, okay, minus 4 pounds. It was actually I mean, this is, and he beat Antonio Margarito, who was not the champion. This was a vacant title. Margarito was not ranked, you know. So this is an example of a padded, you know, record as far as maybe not the record as far as, you know, the record, but his fighting record, that is, but a record as far as when they say, oh, he's won the most world titles than anybody else in history in more weight classes. Well, I mean,
either of you happen to remember
put that last one into question.
Either of you happen to remember who had that WBO 154 title before it got vacated, so Bob could set that up?
Wasn't it WBC title?
I could for some. I have this vague recollection that Bob.
I believe it was a WBC, if I'm not mistaken.
It was. Oh, was it WBC?
Yeah, it was a WBC title. It was a WBC title. Yeah.
I don't remember who had the title. I just know I believe it was vacated, and then Martinez won it, and he moved up to. He ended up fighting Williams. If my memory serves me correct, I could be wrong about that.
I think it was Martinez's belt. And he vacated it.
Okay.
I think that was.
And somehow the WBC found a way to. Oh, you know what? You're right, because I believe after that they gave it to Canelo, right?
Well, after Pacquiao vacated, then they made it vacant again. That's why they set up the matchup between Canelo versus Matthew.
So
Adams.
it's 7 weight classes with an asterisk.
I had it backwards.
You know what I mean? Like to say that there's no asterisk on a lot of modern fighters is an understatement. Okay.
Right.
Because everybody, I mean, look, Broner is what, a 3-4 division champion?
4-weight champion.
I mean, a lot of dudes are multiple division champions. It's just easier to win titles nowadays.
Low place out of nowhere. Hey, what's up, Low Place?
Low Place. So tell us something. Can you tell me something about Evander Holyfield's career that you do know?
I'm flat out telling you, like, he never made that. I'm not saying you guys are wrong or right. I'm not saying Holyfield or Pacquiao is better than one. I respect both as fighters. I respect what they've done. To compare and contrast, that Sean's Newton argument. I'm just saying when you mentioned the 175-pound weight limit to call him a light heavyweight and to say, well, he never made the weight. You just kind of can't do that. If he didn't make the weight, he didn't make the weight. He didn't make 175. Like I said, he debuted on the what was it? The night of the night of gold medals or whatever they called it. And I've seen that video a few times, and he was 177. I don't remember the exact weight until I went back and seen it again, but he didn't make the weight, and it's just you can't give him credit for that. He never won a light heavyweight title. He didn't even stay there. He won the cruiserweight title. But how many fights?
I gotta ask him real quickly. Hold up. First of all, was he penalized for not making the weight as you claim he did?
No, no, he didn't. I'm not saying the fight was scheduled for 75. I'm saying he didn't make the 75 limit, which is light heavyweight. If you're fighting under a commission, you can't. No, there's going to be no penalty for fighting a guy that you're debuting against. That's nothing.
Oh, sometimes guys just make up their own weight, kind of like Pacquiao did.
And he made it up over the normal light heavyweight limit. We know the limits. He done that, and he went on a cruiserweight and unified 3 titles was it? Credit there, but at at heavyweight, he wasn't getting the credit he deserved, and some feel like, hey, he wasn't fighting Foreman, older Foreman. Then when he fought the people, he fought the fights people wanted. The Larry Holmes fight, he got that. Larry Holmes older, they said still we want to see more. Lost the bow convincingly. So I mean, it's either way, they both fought the competition that was there to fight.
He didn't lose that fight convincingly. Yeah, it was close in the middle of the stretch, but he obviously faded at the end. But the fact is, George Foreman became a unified champion, the oldest unified champion at the history at that time, by knocking out the very man that beat Holyfield for that title, who Holyfield later avenged that loss against. Larry Holmes beat a dangerous, a prime, undefeated Ray Mercer, a guy that nobody wanted to fight, that Riddick Bowe avoided at one point. Okay, yep. Larry Holmes took his undefeated record away. So those two guys were still fighting at their, even they were past their prime, but they were still elite heavyweights in their early 40s. Okay, they were able to accomplish things in their careers. That's something you can't take away from. But the one thing I will ask you this: do you know what weight that Holyfield fought at in his amateur career, even up to the Olympics?
Why would that matter if we're talking their pro careers? Why is that mattering? We're talking pro.
No,
right?
Because we're talking about natural weight. We're talking about natural weight.
I know the argument you're trying to make, but then the argument would be, hey, Manny Pacquiao showed that he was competing with pros instead of earlier than Evander Holyfield could have shown. So you really can't use just the weight argument on that. I understand he was fighting at the 170 something limit, but I get that. But at the end of the day, that argument just kind of wouldn't work if Sean Newton would argue hey, Pacquiao.
Are you arguing that Manny Pacquiao was fighting better competition when he turned pro than when Holyfield was fighting world-class competition in the amateurs?
It could have been. Hey, I wouldn't know. It could have been. It could have been. It could have been not. You just would have to know that. I don't look, and I'm not trying to break either one down. I just came in where y'all told to me.
I think you like that. I think that question caught you off guard, but
no, I'm not. No, I'm just being argued. I'm being honest. I'm not arguing either way for either one of them. I think both of them had their ups and downs in their careers. I think both of them. I'm being honest. I think both of them was cheaters on PEDs. But at the end of the day, it just is what it is.
Okay, let me ask you this: did either one of them fail a drug test?
Cool. Evander eventually did. Evander did.
I think there's circumstantial evidence. I'll say that. But.
Where's the evidence? Did he fail a drug test?
Okay. If you want to go there and be technical for him, but at the end of the day, what fight was that? What fight was that?
No, I'll say this. I'll just say this because I think I kind of disagree with Danaman here. There's no proof, but there is circumstantial evidence. Which the difference between the two. The circumstantial with evidence with Manny Pacquiao is how he reacted to random blood testing by USADA. And this stuff might be normal today, but for those that don't, I mean, I remember they wanted like this ridiculous 30-day cutoff before the fight, and then they negotiated it down to 14-day cutoff. And this was before people a lot of people didn't really understand how PEDs work, like your average person. Now today everybody knows apparently, but to me that was very fishy behavior. It's not proof that he did it, but it is circumstantial evidence.
Well, it is not really circumstantial if they didn't admit to it. Number one. Number two, that just only raises speculation.
You don't have to admit to it. You don't have to admit to it.
You don't have to, but it just gives you some clues. But that doesn't result to actual evidence, concrete evidence. So the point is, they never failed the drug test. But anyway,
circumstantial evidence is not the type of evidence I think you want. That's not what circumstantial evidence is.
But for Sean Newton's case, I would say it's like to the eye, and you see Pacquiao as small as he was, and when you look at a guy, a cruiserweight, 200-pound rip, no matter what you see him against, you're not gonna say, oh, he's a small man, because he's bigger than most men. He's bigger than most men. Pacquiao, everybody finds him small and sees him small. So like aesthetically, I could see what Sean is saying. It's more impressive to say, yo, Jeff Horn was probably, I don't know, I would guess, but on other fights, Jeff Horn's definitely been over 150, 160 pounds. And he's still at 38 years old, 37 years old, fighting people like that. I would have to give him on the aesthetics, the way it looks, man, he shouldn't be fighting those dudes. Like Jesse Vargas went over.
Wait. So hold up.
I think Manny Pacquiao is the same frame or height, at least, of Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran beat Iron Barkley. So I'm not that
Exactly.
impressed with Manny Pacquiao losing a close decision to Jeff Horn.
Exactly. And another thing I would ask him too is that, well, Evander Holyfield fought a prime Riddick Bowe who outweighed him by 40 pounds. So how is that with Pacquiao fighting Jeff Horn much better than that?
Yeah, you saying Evander didn't look small compared to Riddick Bowe?
I think his point was just playing devil's advocate here. I think his point was aesthetically pleasing, meaning public perception favors Pacquiao, what Pacquiao did, because heavyweights, no one talks about the weight disparity in heavyweight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, nobody really talks about that.
Yeah, but it gets undermined a lot, so it has to be worth discussing. Yes, those guys are about 200 plus pounds. They can absorb punches better, but the fact is, they still have a weight disparity. You know, Evander Holyfield was a guy who didn't have the arm length, he didn't have the reach, he didn't have the power advantages in most fights against his opponents. You know, he was outgunned by height. You know, so he found ways to win against guys like that, against adversity. So it was ridiculous what he was able to do at heavyweight. Many people felt that he was going to underachieve at heavyweight at one time. I remember a time people called him a favorite champion.
Yeah, and a lot of this logic undermines the whole division in general, like I said.
Right. Yeah. Right. And so the thing is too, this whole Manny Pacquiao weight argument, it's a good accomplishment what he's able to do, yes. But to me, I'm not quite convinced because one thing I have to take worth note is that Pacquiao, I never recall Evander Holyfield using catchweight advantages to get advantages in championship fights. I never seen Evander Holyfield use that luxury to do that. So that's the one thing I gotta go against Pacquiao right there. So it's a low place. Can you tell me that Evander Holyfield ever had to use a catchweight advantage into fights? Like Pacquiao did?
In his debuts, but in the bigger fights, he went to the weight. Like, it's really no catchweight at heavyweight unless you tell. I mean, I guess you could make that up and say, well, this heavyweight can't be, but no, not that I know of. But at the end of the day, my thing is, I'm not. No, he never done it. But my thing is just like, if you look at Manny Pacquiao, you look at Holyfield, you put 225 on the bench. Holyfield can do it. A lot of men can't. You put 225 on the bench for the opponent's Holyfield fought. He can do it. A lot of men can't. Now, put 185 on the bench for Pacquiao at 106 or wherever he started. He probably can't. Put that on the bench for some of the welterweights he fought, the Margarito, the Mosleys. They can likely rep that out. So it's a mind frame thing. Like, it's a little more impressive, but at the same time, I get y'all argument where you're saying these guys are 20, 30, 40 pounds bigger than him and all those. I get it, but at the same time, Manny Pacquiao, it just looks different. Like, Holyfield ain't never gonna be called a small man. Pacquiao is a small man.
Well, you're saying that flyweights can never go all the way up to heavyweight and make fight and fight heavyweights? Is that what you're saying?
They won't today. They won't be doing it today. It won't happen not one bit today. If they do, just color me fucking surprised. All
right, but you are aware that it has been done before.
That's what he said in the chat. I don't know those guys. I mean, boxing history is a little different. Like I said, Jeff Horn probably was a super middleweight, somewhere between middleweight and super middleweight the night of the fight. So Pacquiao's fighting heavyweights of that day just about 10, 15 pounds under. But today, it's not going to happen. Today, they're not even going to fight super middleweights unless they're Manny Pacquiao almost.
No, there's a reason behind that, right? You know the reason why flyweights don't do that, won't take that chance, or lightweights won't take that chance in today's standards? Do you know why?
I mean, give your opinion on why.
No. I'm asking you. What do you think why they won't do it?
I assume the reason why most men wouldn't move up in weight. If I'm using my mindset, why would I go up and fight guys much bigger than me?
All right, I'll tell you why. Because back then, there were only 8 different weight classes. That was it. 8 weight classes, 1 champion. In today's standards, you got 4 belts in every division. You got how many weight classes right now? You got like 20 weight classes? Probably less than that. I don't know. But you have a gang of other weight classes that gives guys enough options to do whatever they want to do. So that's the reason why you don't see that in today's standards, because a lot of fighters got a lot of options compared to what happened back then. So if you take away those weight classes of today, those guys, you probably see Pacquiao go up to heavyweight or even down middleweight and take fights if he had to. But
yeah, look at Rigondeaux. A guy like Rigondeaux today, he's being, forced, quote unquote, you could argue, to move up, what, 8 pounds?
I think the time
back
just
then,
changed.
yeah, like Dan's saying, it was way more.
Nah, the risk.
Right.
Like, we ain't got to take as many risks today. You got more networks putting on boxing. You got people eating a little better. You can go in different countries.
Because
I don't think
that's what Dan's saying. Because there's more
he was
options, you don't have to take as many risks.
mentioned the weight classes being the reason you don't have to take risks. I think it's also not just that. And if you found people in your weight class and it was good enough fights, I think if we only had 8, I still don't think I see flyweights fighting middleweights today. It's too much. It's just too much to ask today.
Back then, it happened before.
I just want to add, if I could just add something really quick.
Yeah.
Well, that is true. I just want to say this because it has to be said. Okay. Heavyweights back then were a lot smaller than today's heavyweights.
Yeah.
Right. So
basically,
Rocky
every
Marciano
class,
could potentially make
every class
light heavyweight.
exactly.
In the day before weigh-in era, Rocky Marciano could weigh in at 175, balloon up to 180, 190. You know, so
Right.
He could probably get down to 168 if he wanted to. Let some people tell it. So yes, they are very fucking small, and that's kind of my point. I don't think today at all it would be happening. No, I don't care if we had 4 weight classes. I think people would be fighting people that said they advantage the fight. If they unless it was just
those guys were
just desperate, because there's a lot of desperation in those times that you're not bringing up.
There was also
but I will say this though, that even then, a flyweight going from flyweight to light heavyweight,
I was just about to ask.
something.
I was going to say, what about light heavyweights and cruiserweights? I mean, were they? And this is an honest question. I mean, weren't they more or less by
Yeah, they were smaller. A light heavyweight back then would be smaller than a lightweight. Flyweight today.
No. What I'm saying is, but were the light heavyweights that much smaller than the light heavyweights today? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Whereas I know the heavyweights were significantly smaller than the heavyweights today.
Yes, this is the truth in all weight classes, because the day before weigh-in, right? In all reality, our welterweights today would have been middleweights in the same day weigh-in era. That's why a lot of times, if you look at them, they look smaller back then.
Somebody told me this. I don't know the truth of it. They flat out told me, said basically if you was a heavyweight, some of those times, and you weighing 187, it was just sometimes because you was too lazy to go ahead and drop the rest of that weight off to make like heavyweight. You was already fighting in a more prominent division. So
that still happens today with heavyweight and cruiserweight.
Hold up. I gotta say something though. It is true that some of those guys were smaller back then, heavyweights, but you have to understand. But not only that, but there was also guys who were a lot more fit and a lot more in better condition back then. It was not more about who had the best look, because some fighters care more about their looks than their actual craft sometimes. So that's why they bulk up a bit. But at the same time, I would like to say though, there was most fights that were all same-day weigh-ins that got involved too. So that's why the smaller guys had look a lot smaller than they are today when it comes to welterweights.
Well, a better way of asking about what I was asking, I guess, would be this. It seems to me that Joe Frazier's a lot smaller than Tyson Fury versus Bob Foster compared to Sergey Kovalev.
Of course. I mean, let me put it this way. Primo Carnero was considered a giant. Primo Carnero was not as big as Joshua.
Yeah, he was 6'4", 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4".
That wasn't a big man. That was giant. Like today, a giant would be like 7 feet tall or taller. So just in general, this is not just boxing. Just humans in general have gotten bigger over time. This is why if you go to bull riding rinks in Spain. You can barely even fit in the seats because the seats were made for people from the last century, right? So it's people in general have just gotten bigger. It doesn't mean better. It just means bigger. That's all.
I say this: if Sean Newton to help his argument, like if there's a guy, if you're looking from a guy to start at 106 today,
so you're arguing for Newton by proxy?
No. I'm just making a real point. Because I think
Sean Newton slipped him a couple of 20s there by PayPal.
I see a cruiserweight. No, I don't have no contact with him, but I see a cruiserweight today. I'm basically giving the fighter a big up. Like I feel like Usyk could unify today at heavyweight. I feel like he could go up there and do things at heavyweight. So with that being said, today I don't see the 106-pounder. Hell, I don't even see the 122-pounder, the 126-pounder, maybe even the 130-pounder that can go to welterweight and play around today. So in that sense, Pacquiao, what's going to get accomplished quicker? What Pacquiao done or what Evander done? I would think what Evander done would be easier to, you know, to do again, because the guy Usyk just might fucking do it.
I disagree. I disagree.
Well,
I disagree with that because we have many.
What if you take into
Wait, hold on.
consideration
We have to factor in a
one
couple
division?
things, though. Let's
Yeah,
say
yeah.
Usyk does unify at cruiserweight, and then let's say he wins a title at heavyweight. Let's say he were to do that. We do have to factor in, and this is just my opinion, that the era of Holyfield just had better fighters. So it doesn't necessarily mean it would be the same thing. Maybe on paper, but it doesn't necessarily mean it was the same thing.
I tell you one guy that's good in any era, and that's Anthony Joshua. That same era, like if he beats him, I just feel like, yo,
What?
it's crazy. Joshua
Anthony Joshua just turned pro in 2008.
Yeah, he'd be good. But
yeah.
from what I see, that man be good in any era. He's just true what he does, man. He's a craftsman. He really is. And so if Usyk was to do that, like it'd kind of be, man. It'd just be what it be, man. Like a Holyfield feat got accomplished much quicker than, and I'm giving room. I'm saying the 130-pounder today. Mikey Garcia, 35, right? I don't think he goes up 35 and gets win. I mean, it's 47 and gets win versus the top guys. I don't think he can do it. And for Pacquiao to do from 106 to, you know, then to get to 30s and be fighting Morales and Barreras and my man Juan Marquez or whatever.
Yeah, but I gotta ask you this.
Dope shit.
I ask you
Dope
this:
shit.
how many catchweight fights did Pacquiao had at welterweight when he moved up to that weight class?
Let's see, Cotto. Now it's not
Yep.
really catch weight; it's more weight manipulation.
No, it's catchweight. It's catchweight.
I look at both. No, I'm making it easy
Semantics,
for
you know,
you.
semantics.
I'm making it easier for you. Like I don't deal with weight manipulation at all. If you fighting guys that's been at this class and now he's at this one for 2 years, I look at that the same as catchweights. I don't care. It's weight manipulation to me. And I don't
Sean
like
Newton
it.
had those pom poms out.
So
and then he's
I would count De La Hoya weight manipulation. I would count Cotto weight manipulation. They refused to fight Shane Mosley at 47 at first. That was a bit of weight manipulation there. Margarito weight manipulation. I said it long ago. I think his best win at welterweight is Clottey. That was just my opinion.
That was a weight manipulation fight.
That was
a
47.
weight. No, that was 44. That was a catchweight.
No, Clottey was 47. It was even
No,
47.
That was a catchweight fight.
No, that was Marquez at 44. 40 something like that. Clottey was 447. Yeah, Clottey was 447.
yeah, but Clottey had diarrhea or some shit like that.
Clottey
Sure, let me check.
Clottey was making excuses, getting his ass slapped around the ring and making a disgrace of himself, basically.
Well, he said he took a dive. He was asked to do it. So yeah. Let's see. Let me take a look at that. Hold on.
We got to check Clottey's bank account.
Yeah, let's do that.
See what money was wired. No, but I think Pacquiao beat him legitimately, though.
Yeah, you're right. I made a mistake. I thought that was a catchweight fight. But anyways,
yeah, he did a lot of weight manipulating, but I don't know Toto, and I just know how to weight manipulation. I think Margarito and Cotto and Marquez was the only 3 catchweight official catchweights above at 47 or above. Those are
Algeria. You forgot Algeria.
By the way, if you look at De La Hoya in that weigh-in, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah,
that was insane.
De La Hoya looked like they had just rescued him from like a POW camp or something. They hadn't fed him in months. Right?
The Cotto fight was another disgrace too, because Cotto had to agree to a same-day weigh-in too. So ain't that a disgrace? You know, so. Look.
Yeah, I love that one. I didn't know we were able to bring back same-day weigh-ins.
Yeah, he did that to Cotto. So my thing is that it's great that you were able to go up to 147, you know, to do that to some degree, but it has to be critiqued. So basically,
especially if we're comparing, like I think where people get it confused is the following, right? Yeah. Let's say I do 2 videos. One video is, you know, just talking about the career of Manny Pacquiao, right? I might do some critique here and there, but overall, I think we could all agree he had an impressive career. right?
Yeah, he did.
Right.
He did.
But if I do another video and it's Manny Pacquiao versus Evander Holyfield, whose resume is better or something like that, or who had the better career, then the critiquing it goes up a notch. You know, it goes.
It does. Exactly.
Nitpicking becomes a big thing once you're comparing, right? It's the same like if I'm talking about, you know, Floyd Mayweather. If I just do a breakdown about Floyd and his career, there's going to be far less critiquing than if somebody says, well, Mayweather's the best of all time. Well, at that point, I need to compare him to other fighters. And it's going to sound like a bash fest of Floyd, but that's not what it is. It's just we're going to critique it more.
You comparing their best wins, or they comparing who they fought? Like if you said Pacquiao's more, because if you saying who they fought, I'm gonna have to say Pacquiao on who they fought, because he got Floyd Mayweather in there.
He beat him.
Lost.
He lost that fight.
but that's what I'm saying though. But at the same time, they could say, well, yeah, Lennox fought Lennox, but he lost in the first one. But I get. What's his best win at heavyweight? For Evander Holyfield's best win at heavyweight for y'all?
You honestly asked us that question. You don't know who's best win at heavyweight was.
No, just for you personally. What if you say Tyson?
Yeah, why not? Why isn't Tyson not the best win of his career?
Well, why is Tyson a good win, but not a good win? But I mean, did you give Pacquiao credit for the Morales win?
I think some people might say, hey, they like the screech out decision over both than the Tyson. I mean, I don't know.
Let me tell you something about the Tyson win.
Personally,
let me tell you something about the Tyson win. How that was so impactful. Okay, let me tell you something. First things first. When Tyson was the unified champion, when he collected that belt from Bruce Seldon, the other belt, the WBA belt, right? He promised to give Lennox Lewis a shot at the WBC title when Lennox was the mandatory, okay? For some reason, abruptly out of nowhere, Tyson decides that he wasn't going to fight Lewis. He vacated his WBC belt, and he chose to fight Holyfield instead. He picked him. He cherry-picked him, and a lot of people came at Tyson for doing that. So, Evander Holyfield, based off his last 3 performances after his comeback from his heart condition, right? His 3 performances, had no shot in the world to win that fight against Tyson. Okay, he was a 25-1 underdog going into that fight. They gave him no shot in hell to win that fight because this is a guy who was way past his best. He'd gotten through a lot of battles. They thought he was washed up at that time. They thought Tyson was going to steamroll the guy. And when Evander did what he was able to do against Tyson, to bully him, push him back, and out-punch him, out-counter him, and knock him out, no one saw that coming. And that was the upset of the year at that time. No one thought Evander Holyfield.
See it coming when it had already happened before. To say not see it coming when it
Tyson saw that happen.
Tyson already had it there.
No, I mean, bro, that's like saying that everybody should have seen Pacquiao getting knocked out by Marquez because he got knocked out before.
No. Tyson had already. You could have seen it because it was a close fight 3 times in a row already. But with Tyson, he'd already been stopped, lost years off his career.
He was stopped too. He was stopped in the fight. He was stopped.
But you also
lost years off his career. The fact is, Evander, people thought he was shot when he came back when he fought Ray Mercer. Yeah, he gave up a good effort against Ray Mercer. He got knocked out by Riddick Bowe. You know, he didn't go. You know, he didn't look. Well, they say he didn't look pressed against Bobby Ches because he didn't knock out Bobby Ches. They thought he had no shot in the world to win that fight because he lost a step. That was named upset of the year. They didn't think he was going to knock out Tyson the way he did.
I get the hype around, but at the end of the day, a man lose 4 years off his career. He's been knocked out before.
So Joe Frazier gets no credit for beating Ali?
It's not invincible. I didn't say no credit. I'm simply saying it don't make it look like it's impossible. They did at the time, but I just feel smarter than that than the boxing fan.
Well, I mean, we could have Monday morning quarterback it all these years later. Right, because hindsight.
I mean, I'm not a casual fan, so if I say I know more, if I wouldn't pick it that way personally going into it, I would be saying, yo, I've seen this man stretch before. This definitely the best opponent. I think Evander's better than a Frank Bruno or a Seldon going into.
Well, I mean, look, if we're gonna go that route, Pacquiao has victories. Some of his biggest wins are against guys that had been knocked out. Like Barrera got knocked out before.
Oh yeah, bro.
So like we want to talk about what they lost before, then Manny Pacquiao's resume really starts looking real grim.
You can say what you feel his best win is. That's all I just asked about Holyfield. I mean, yeah, I could feel Pacquiao's best win was Marquez.
No. You're being a proxy. No, hold up. You're being a proxy for Sean Newton here because you're saying
No,
that
I'm not.
Pacquiao had the most.
And Marquez had gotten beat by Chris John.
I agree on this.
And he's gotten
I
beat
only
by
agree
Floyd,
because I only
and he
agree
got
with
beat by
his
Bradley.
assessment. I don't even know
No,
his
you
argument,
just said.
to be honest. I don't know his argument. All I'm going to simply say is Manny Pacquiao, what he done it's definitely not going to be accomplished quicker than what Holyfield done. It's just not going to happen.
But I do want to talk about this whole. We should see it coming because they lost before. I mean,
no, but look, taking 4 years off your career. If you're really breaking down a fight today, and you know, hey, not only think Tyson, think a guy, man, yo, he's good, but I seen this happen to him before, and it's 4 years off his best. I can see that happening. I would literally.
Barrera was good, but I see them get starts before too, so I guess that's not a big victory.
Down is a great fight. Going down is a great fighter to a lot of people. So it's not a stretch to say anything you saw 25-1. The people who made it should smack themselves. It's just simple as that. You don't go 25-1 with a guy that's been knocked out. 25-1 with a guy that's lost 4 years off his career. They'll never do that again. They'll never do that again.
Wait a minute, hold up. Did you just say that Manny Pacquiao accomplished things much faster than Evander Holyfield? Did you just say that?
No, I didn't say that.
No, he's saying that it's more likely that someone does what Holyfield did again than what Manny Pacquiao did. But the thing is, it just depends how you say it. Like, to me, Roy Jones would be the standard if we're going to talk about who was more impressive moving up in weights. Not Pacquiao.
Roy Jones did it.
He was
Roy
impressive.
Jones did it back in, as a Charles did it back in his time. As a Charles was impressive moving up in between weights when he started his career at middleweight. So he became a heavyweight champion of the world. And I think, so we can have this argument, just like D-Style says, with many fighters.
Then you had to say,
but I'm just interested in this. So Evander Holyfield's best win is not impressive because
I didn't say it wasn't impressive. I just don't think it shouldn't be valued as much as 25-1. I just think there was some wrongdoing.
So I guess Pacquiao's win over Marquez ain't that impressive because he lost to Chris John and he lost some other fights. So
and we could also say that Oscar. Well, you could also say his win against Oscar De La Hoya is not impressive either because De La Hoya got knocked out by Hopkins.
No, it wasn't impressive because the weight stuff, in my opinion.
But I want to know where the hell Sean Newton is. This is what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to know where he's at too.
Man, no clue.
He's sending instant messages to the low place.
I mean, I don't even know. I haven't.
I mean, didn't Sean say he likes it when it's a big panel? Like, look, it could be 4 of us, Sean.
Well, I'm gonna tell him, Sean, I sent you the link, bro. Here's the thing: when you get on, I'll tell the other guys to get off. It'll be me and you. It's been several hours now, man.
But Sean said he likes big panels, like a panel of discussion.
Okay.
And he said, his words, I like to just lay back and listen. In other words, I don't want to say anything during the debate.
But if you throw in Roy Jones, like if you start with Evander, then you throw in Roy Jones, that's kind of you changing the goalpost then because I mean, I just simply if you start in Pacquiao versus Evander Holyfield, and then you say, well, Roy Jones did it to discredit Pacquiao. It's kind of in a way, and you start saying, well, compare Pacquiao to Roy Jones instead of Evander Holyfield. That would be, in a sense, changing the goalpost. But I believe I'm simply gonna say to go from 1-0 to look
that's not changing
like a small man. He was a small dude. Evander never was a small dude.
No, but I just want to make sure we understand.
It would be like this. Okay, who's going to knock who down? The running back is run over the defensive tackle, or is the fullback got more of a way to do it? You know what I mean?
In all seriousness, though, that's not moving the goalpost. That's just making a point.
Exactly. We're just making a point.
Man, he did is so impressive.
It is.
Point out other guys that did stuff that's more impressive.
Wait a minute, hold up. I gotta stop. Hold up. You said what Manny did was oppressive, but yet you admitted that he's done a lot of weight manipulation when he moved with the weight.
Yeah, but getting still in a way, it's impressive to even go to 106 to 130 in the fight of Morales and Barrera and I think he fought Barrera at 130, Marquez at 130 and 35, and Morales at 130 and 35 to even get there.
I have a hard time believing. You just said that Manny Pacquiao
to even be in the ring with a person like Ricky Hatton, regardless if Ricky got knocked out, to even be in the ring with a person like that, that's fucking impressive.
Ricky Hatton wasn't that big of a dude.
I don't understand that.
But he was a monster though, man. Hatton was a monster. Hatton was one of my favorite fighters. I'm just gonna put it there. Like Hatton was one of my favorite TLC.
No, Hatton was knocked out before he fought Pacquiao.
It happens.
Right. Okay. So you're pretty much saying that Evander's win over Tyson was not impressive because Tyson was knocked out, right?
No, I didn't say it wasn't impressive. I just said 25-1 is just I don't know what the odds were. I'm just saying whoever made those odds, I gotta totally.
But that wasn't like the first fight Tyson had when he came back.
Yeah, he had many fights before he came back. He was a unified champion when he came back.
I understand. I understand that he took the belts. You say unified champion versus who?
Yeah. He beat Frank Bruno. He beat Bruce Seldon. So those are guys who were top guys in the heavyweight division at the time. Right. He beat those guys for those titles.
You're right. I think the word unified is a little overblown, but I just don't.
When I say unified, undefeated, I mean undefeated champion. Not undefeated champion coming back.
Bruce Seldon ain't better than Evander Holyfield. If he win the 25-1 in that fight, I don't know what the odds make. What was Tyson in that fight? What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Sean Yoon.
The police siren.
Okay, so what was Seldon as an underdog to Tyson? Because if you got Evander as a lower, that's what I'm trying to say. Like if they ranking Seldon better than fucking Evander Holyfield just because of a great fighter, in my opinion. And I am going to call Riddick Bowe a great fighter. I'm not going to say he's going to go down or something, but from skill-wise, the man's fucking great. I don't see how.
I mean, he was a good. It was a good fighter. I said that Riddick Bowe was an elite heavyweight. I meant that. But there are some things you can critique as well. It's the fact that he didn't fight the fights that we wanted him to fight. He was being very elusive against some of those other heavyweights like Ray Mercer and Lennox Lewis. So yeah, I mean, don't take it. That's one thing I won't take away from Riddick Bowe. You just asked what were the betting odds? What was the betting odds for Bruce Seldon and Mike Tyson?
If Seldon had better odds than Evander did, they slapped themselves. That's just simple as that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's overblown.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, did he have better odds?
I think the odds was 15-1 versus Seldon.
At 25-1 versus Evander. Oh my God! Stop it, people. Can we stop?
They thought Evander Holyfield was shot.
Can we stop?
Yeah, they thought he was shot.
What is Bruce Seldon? Oh, okay.
They said he was shot. That's the reason why. They thought Evander Holyfield was shot to pieces. They thought he was shot.
Just because the perception was that Holyfield was shot, yeah.
Just because Riddick Bowe
the perception
I just can't get on. I can't rock with that. I don't know what they were thinking.
See,
I don't know.
It goes back to what you were saying, D-Style, about understanding the context of the times that the fight occurred in, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, it's easy all these years later to say, oh, they were wrong. Well, we know they were wrong, but
actually, you know what? I can make a correction. It was actually 12-1. Bruce Seldon was a 12-1 underdog. Now, Holyfield, I was going to make a note though. Holyfield, when he didn't knock out Bobby Ches, that's when the perception came into play. He's like, wait a minute, you can even knock out this guy who's a light heavyweight, who stood. You can even knock him down. So why should we give you a shot of winning that fight against Tyson?
I hear you.
You
just don't knock out the thought of, hey, you in a bigger fight, he's going to train better, he's going to go harder. It's so much that I guess I could say today or tomorrow, but I can put myself in that position mentally to say I know what a fight is going to prepare differently from a Bobby Ches to a damn Mike Tyson. And I just want it. I wouldn't have wrote no 25-1 underdog. Then gave Seldon. No.
All right. Well, the fact is that Evander won that fight. It was upset of the year. It was fight of the year too as well.
Lopez knew Muhammad Ali would beat Foreman.
Yeah, he knew that, right?
Come on, everyone knows Muhammad Ali was going to beat Sonny Liston that first time.
Oh yeah, everybody knew that too, right? Yeah.
Sonny Liston was shot. He
Come on, Jay Braddock was going to beat Max Baer. You know he was. Come on.
I'm not saying I knew he was going to beat him. I'm just saying, Sonny Liston, you tell me, oh, he's losing 4 years off his career. And
God, he's not really going to go there.
Well, let me ask
you tell me that. He lost 4 prime years. And even before that, you tell me, oh, Sonny Liston, which he was a head case. Well, you tell me Sonny Liston still being a head case. He's lost 4 years out of his career. And previous to that, recently before his head case issues, he was fucking out. You know, then it gets a little easier. It gets a lot easier.
Let me ask you this, low place. Modern question. Did you think that what's his name? Carlos Quintana, did you think he was going to beat Paul Williams?
I don't.
Did you predict that?
See how that relates. I don't even see how that relates.
No, because the point is that Sean Newton, I'm not sure if you agree with him on this one. He's going around saying that I knew that Tyson was going to beat, the Holyfield was going to beat Tyson, despite what the odd makers said it. So basically, you're predicting that every fighter who's an underdog is going to win that fight, right? They're not going to win that.
I just think it's certain times where they are off the wall wrong, and then I think this is one where you make Holyfield 25-1 underdog. You don't do it. Not versus a guy that, like I said, I don't remember Paul Williams taking 4 years. Now, if you mentioned Paul Williams just got stretched out by Sergio Martinez,
Tyson had fights
going into this fight, now it might be a little different.
Tyson had 4 fights before he fought Holyfield.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But that does not take away the fact he lost prime years in prison, losing prime years.
Evander Holyfield retired due to a serious heart condition, and he was taking beatings before that fight.
Yeah,
he was in good fights.
That's what I thought.
Exactly. He was in good fights.
Kind of a very important factor. Yeah,
he was in good fights.
Yes.
He wasn't. Well, look, we see here Riddick Bowe. You mentioned the other fights, and you see Tyson.
Michael Moore.
You see Tyson. He didn't lose.
Michael Moore too.
He didn't lose prime development years though. He didn't lose those. He was already himself. Yes, he came back as a vet. I think that's important.
Jesus Christ.
You want to lose. You want people to lose prime years. So if you're saying you want to lose prime years, you might as well also say 14.
I don't think Deneman ever said I want guys to lose their prime years. So.
Okay,
that's not what I said. Exactly. I did not say that. What I'm telling you is that yes, Tyson was.
I must have missed that part.
What was his retirement time?
Retirement time was 1.5 years. Okay, but the fact is that he was on. Well, the fact is, hold up. With the accumulating of punishment that he took during his time at heavyweight, that is also a contributing factor. That will slow you down, okay? And the fact that he came back, had a very difficult and tough fight against Ray Mercer, couldn't knock out Bobby Chess. Obviously, before that, the Riddick Bowe rematch came into play when he took a lot of shots in that fight. He got knocked out, okay? Couldn't knock down Bobby Chess. Those factors come in, and it was people assumed that you slow down, in which he did slow down. He did. He was not at his best when he fought Tyson. Let's not kid ourselves. He was not at his best. He was way past him. So that's why the odd makers
got inside him and beat him up. Stylistically, I
don't know what Holyfield did to cure that heart disease, but he's got to talk to Luis Ortiz, though.
Exactly.
Give him some of that magic.
Must have got his hands on some meldonium.
Yeah. So exactly. So yeah, but the fact is that people like to dismiss that fact that Holyfield himself was way past his best, way over the hill.
Holyfield is a good fighter. Pacquiao's a good fighter.
Right, we agree on that.
And Sean Newton needs to grow a pair and come on here and then do the debate.
Right.
Pretty much.
Well, we've been over here for 3 hours, guys. I mean, he's gonna do a video response, like as you guys predict. He's gonna do it. And like you said, D-Side, we're on the panel. That's what he likes. He likes the format. So I gave him the link. That's been over 3-4 hours ago, and
I can't wait to hear Dan the Man play back Newton playing this back.
Right.
Well, look.
Well, he will.
He's gonna do a video. He's gonna tell you that he doesn't have time. Why don't you understand? Then he's going to proceed to make points about why Pacquiao's better, right? and why Holyfield isn't that impressive, and debate amongst himself. And then he's going to say that you're going to say the following, because apparently he knows what you're going to say, and answer to himself, and then, end the video. It'll be about 30 minutes long.
Plus upload time. Don't forget that.
Hey y'all, listen. I think I'm going to end this right now for now, guys, because I had to get back. I got to do some business. Hey, I enjoy you guys for coming on. Peace, y'all. So my comrades and the subscribers. Peace, y'all. Thank you for guys for coming on. To my comrades and subscribers, Low Place 2. Dick Justice, Black Latin Caesar, Blood Boxing, Joe Host, DCB, all you guys in there, man. 122459, Boxing Librarian. Shout out to you, brother, as always. Yeah, so I'm disappointed that the Ytbc cop couldn't get on here. So, I mean, hey, I got to end the discussion. But, hey, I'm not going to set the timetable. Let me know when you're ready. All right? So, anyways, I'm out. Peace, y'all.